this episode of Playlog, we're talking about all of our favorite demos from this Steam Next Fest. Hey everybody, CJB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, I can't talk indie games alone because that'd be super boring. So I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
I am done with demos for now.
There you go.
It's been a bit too much. Like this edition of Next Fest was pretty insane.
Yeah.
It was. I felt like there was a lot more quality than in the last couple of editions.
Yeah, I'm definitely like feeling that a little bit more. I'm saying this as we get into it, we're gonna see I played a lot less demos than I normally would during a Next Fest. Mm-hmm. Like, and I think that was just coming down from SGF, like get some vibe in my life back. But like, as I was going through, there was a lot less of like the shovelware, like what is this doing on here? But even like, because I didn't really touch stuff the first day, I think I got the like, oh cool, like people have started playing demos and the popular ones have bumped to the top, which a little detrimental if it's like something I'm into, but like it's not popular, so I don't see it. But like, it wasn't the, what is this fucking MS Paint looking ass fucking. But yeah, also, didn't Next Fest, it ended, right? Ended yesterday, yeah?
It ended yesterday, yeah.
Okay, I still have it on like Steam. Like Steam is still like, check out Next Fest.
Oh, so that's weird.
Like, oh, weird. So lovely. Oh, you know what? I gotta talk about that quick before before we do housekeeping. Funny story, right? So we're at SGF. I forgot to tell this story. We're watching the Xbox showcase in the hotel room. So it is myself, Mike and Kyle from 6-1 Indie, Luke from Crossplay Conversations, and Sabrina from Vicarious PR. It's the five of us watching the show. As we're watching, we're doing like, oh cool, this game looks fun, and we're like, what could this game possibly be? Like, I don't know what it is. The trailer for the new solo leveling game, which I think is the mobile game ported to console. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't check the title. Okay. But the solo leveling game shows up in the trailer. And at first I didn't know what it was. And then the first episode was like the statue. I won't spoil anything for anyone who doesn't watch solo leveling, but you should watch solo leveling. There's like a statue that comes in and like gives a weird grin. And then they show the main character of Jin Woo. I'm like, oh, it's solo leveling. And Kyle from 6-1 is like, what did you just say? And everyone's like looking at me like, solo leveling? And then like the logo comes up on the screen and Luke goes, oh, of course, solo leveling, Arise Overdrive. Of course. How did we not think of that? So now the bit was like every time something's getting revealed, like, guys, it's solo leveling. Guys, it's solo leveling. I need to find, amazing. There was one more that fucking Mike sent. There was like, guys, new game got revealed. It was solo leveling. Like, shut the fuck up. I hate you. Leave me alone. It was like a group text. It was really funny though. I was glad it was a bit. Okay, sorry, that was Noah. Okay, I had somewhere in there. I have like 7 threads now with Mike and Kyle after SGF, but yeah, that was a funny bit. So now, after Kamikaze last planes at our first PAX and now solo leveling at SGF, there's just like the, oh, Danny knows a weird anime game. Like, it's not even weird. It's solo leveling. What do you mean?
Oh, now I'm looking forward to like the next time we do a showcase reaction together.
You're like, anime game, Danny knows that one. Which should, well, we'll see what happens in between now and September. But the 6-1 Indie Showcase for September, they recently announced they're doing that soon. And submissions open tomorrow as of recording. So if you're an indie dev listening, submit yourself to the 6-1 Indie Showcase. Tell them CGDannyB sent you because they like me over there. But anyway, that's a funny story. We got games to talk about, but first we gotta do some housekeeping. So as we do that, so if we're not gonna lie, I have a little mini heart attack here. Did I do the thing? Did I do the timestamps? If I do the timestamps, I'm just gonna wing it. We'll be fine.
Okay.
Did I click a button?
Did you forget?
I didn't forget, but the button gave me an error because something didn't show up right. So it's fine. Who needs fucking time? I don't. It's fine. No, we got this. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open the folder, right? I'm gonna go here.
Yeah.
Cancel the timestamps, right? Okay, hold on. I'm watching the clock. Okay. 4:50, 40. Hold on. Give me 10 seconds, chat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. 5 even. So now,
Nice.
as I'm working, don't open the document. As I'm working on timestamps, I just got to add 5 minutes exactly to every timestamp, and we'll be good. Is that a lot of extra steps? Maybe a little bit, but we'll be okay. We'll
Do you need to write that down in case you forget?
I'm going nope. Nope. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I should.
Okay.
5 minutes. Plus 5 min pod. Got it. We're golden. Anyway, housekeeping. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us for Playlog Podcast. It's a mess today. We're gonna be fine. Quick reminder: Tofr was invited onto the Tiny Games Chronicles podcast to discuss Without a Dawn, a deep dive into the mental health struggles with Jesse McConan. I don't know if I'm saying the name McConan. Yeah. Okay. The creator of the Distraint games. That episode dropped earlier today, so you can check that out immediately after listening to Playlog Podcast. You can find it on Spotify, and be sure to check out some more of their other episodes as well. Tell me about this quick, because I'm not familiar with Tiny Games Chronicles and how this all came together.
One of the presenters for Tiny Game Chronicles is one of my colleagues at So Many Games. And they actually... so Tiny Game Chronicles is a bi-weekly podcast where they take a look at shorter gaming experiences.
Okay.
And they saw my review that I had written about Without a Dawn, and that made them interested in playing it. So when they decided to... bring it onto the podcast, they asked if I wanted to join them, and it was a really good time. It was a pretty open discussion on mental health, and it was really interesting.
Oh, that's so dope. I love that. God, Tofr guest started on podcast. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Run it, dude. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, guys, sure to check that one out. If you send me the Spotify link at some point, I'll try and put it in the description, or I'll totally forget, and people have to go find it themselves. Listen, it's a lot of work, guys. Relax. It's fine.
I'll send it to you.
Appreciate it. And also, our last quick reminder, as part of a podcast, we'll be doing our bi-monthly book club, where we go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. And for the month of June and July, we'll be playing American Arcadia. The cinematic puzzle game combines a 2.5D platformer and a first-person game to tell the tale of a thrilling escape. As Trevor, you have to escape the world's most popular reality TV show, where a drop in popularity will cost you one thing: your life. The thing is, people don't even realize that they're part of a show. Set in a gorgeous retrofuturistic 1970s, the game tasks you with trying to make it out alive. Play the game during the months of June and July on Steam, PlayStation, or Xbox, then head over to our write-in form in the description to give us your thoughts on American Arcadia for our July 29th episode of Playlog Podcast. You can join us live on twitch.tv/CGDannyB for the discussion, or catch the upload a few days later on Thursday the 31st on youtube.com/CGDannyB or audio podcast services everywhere. Timestamp. I have to move my big stein so I can hit the button. We're good. Tofr!
Yes.
Next Fest wrapped up yesterday. As of recording, a few days ago, as of posting. Timelines are weird. Before we get into what we've been playing, we talked very briefly about it, but how did you feel about this Next Fest compared to some of the past? I know we've talked about the overfill of games and not being able to find things. Did you feel it was any better this year or this month, I guess?
To me, it was... Discoverability remains an issue for me.
Okay.
It's like you mentioned earlier on, like when you get into Next Fest, when it's been running for a couple of days, all of the more popular choices will be higher up the list.
Yeah.
And we'll get more visibility that way. I'm still not sure that's the best way to work.
Yeah.
But with over 2,500 demos, is there a good way to make it work? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like, and the page has changed now. Now it seems to be what demos stayed up. Escape from Dutkov. That looks funny. I didn't look at that one. But I feel like normally there's the categories, and maybe they were there and it was just the format was changed. But normally it's do you want RPGs, deck builders, whatever. But I feel like there was, here's what's on your wish list. Here's visual novels. There was a specific visual novel section for me, and then there was just the bottomless list, which was load more, jump up 20 more spots, you have to look at the same shit again and then see the new stuff, and like it did last time. But yeah, I feel like I mostly picked from my wish list games this year is where I got to be cool, the game I'm looking forward to has a demo, I can't wait to try it. Did not find a lot of new if I look at my list right now, I think 2 of the games were ones I'm not sure what this is. I want to check it out. Sorry, 3 of the games. I'm not sure what this is. I want to check it out. Because some of them were at like Wholesome Games. I'm like, oh, cool, I want to see that one. So, yeah, it was still kind of weird. And I know, like, I didn't watch the showcase, but I got a conversation from, like, The Mix. I guess they're doing a, like, Steam Next Fest-esque event sometime this year. I don't know if we have a date or anything on it, but they're doing a, like, Mix Next Fest kind of vibe of, like, cool, we're
nice.
Like... So hopefully that'll be a smaller, cleaner type deal. I don't know if we'll, like... make another guys, it's the yearly Mix Next Fest where we're going to talk about all the demos we played, which I'm sure we'll cover it regardless. Just I don't know if it'll be the Next Fest every 3 months, event. But like I'm looking forward to it regardless. I'm hoping it's more curated. And yeah, I think I had a good time in Next Fest, but still a lot to sift through.
Yeah, what I struggled with a little bit. Especially concerning visibility, was since I'm house sitting at the moment,
right?
And I don't have my computer at hand.
Okay.
At my mom's place.
Yeah.
So I did all of my Next Fest discovering through my Steam Deck. And if you go down the list, on the Next Fest page, and you want to download a game, you have to go to the games page. Download the game. If you then press back, you go to the bottom of the page. You then have to scroll back up and go down the entire list again. That is not a good way to help visibility for demos.
Yeah, not at all.
So I hope maybe they can find a solution to make it just slightly easier for Steam Deck users.
Yeah.
Because I think that's an important section of the players who will be playing Next Fest demos.
Right, for sure. Yeah, because leaving SGF, I downloaded a bunch of demos before I left like the airport to make sure I had something to play on the plane. And really, I just played Lost in Random, which thoughts will be coming soon because I've not played enough of it. But even I played Lost in Random. I played a little bit of Moonlighter, but I was like, I'm almost home. I'll just play this when I get to my computer so I can capture footage. But yeah, I didn't do a lot on deck this year, so fix your shit, Steam. What are we doing? Gabe, be a bro.
Yeah, the Steam Deck is such a great machine.
Yeah,
and it needs to do better towards the indie devs here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do in October. Is that their next one? Are they doing another one?
I think so. I don't know if there's a date yet.
I just assume it's every 3 months at this point. I have no idea.
Probably, yeah.
But alrighty. But then with that, we can talk about what we've been playing during Next Fest. And Tofr, you played some Moonlighter, buddy. You got to play Moonlighter.
I did. I tried.
Okay.
Because the Steam Deck wasn't the biggest fan of Moonlighter 2 when I played it.
Okay.
So I only played the introduction phase. So the demo starts with combat being like a combat tutorial.
Yeah.
And it has you running through a dungeon, learning all of the commands. And it was fun. I feel like I will still struggle as much as I did with combat in the first game.
Okay.
But that's just because I'm not good at combat.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I love the new look.
Yeah.
I was skeptical going into it because I loved the original pixel art.
Yeah.
But that new art style, it works so well for this game.
Yeah. These are really good.
Combat felt good, even if I wasn't good at it. It plays really well. So I'm really curious to learn more about your experience and especially about the shop mechanics.
Yeah, so we talked about this last week because I played it. As we wrapped up the episode, I was like, I'm going to play more Moonlighter, and I did indeed play more Moonlighter. I have about just under 7 hours on this demo.
Nice.
I was like 6.5, yeah, because I was sat there looking at my wall of demos, like, I should play something new, but I need to finish the Moonlighter demo. And I had gotten through the initial tutorial, and then they hit you with a spot that's like, hey, to complete your task, you have to raise $5,000 in one day, which essentially is you have to get a lot of good items, not die, and then come back to the shop and haggle just right so you can make enough money per item so you can make that 5,000 a day. Because even you're still making money. It's like you lose the money. You can use it to buy weapons, armor, upgrades, etc. But it doesn't count towards your like progression goal. So you have to do that. So it was a lot of me going in. I'm like, I got this. I have so many good things, and then like whiffing it, and like, no, shoot, I lost. Like, and like I said in the previous conversation about Moonlighter, you don't lose your items when you die. I think everything just loses half of its value. So like. Something I got really in tune with going in a second time around was finding the best way to combine some of these items. Because the more I was playing, the more new items I was finding. Because they were like, hey, this item will sit in your inventory. The next time you burn something, add its value to like this one item. So like if I find like a big item that I could keep stacking up, and I'm like, I have 2 items that are kind of big, I could just take an item that had burn the first item that had a big number on it, and that would immediately get slapped onto the other item. So I had one huge item, and that was like, cool, this is how I can play this. Mother's Gift is the one is one of the items where I think it's based on, you put that in your inventory, and if there is a like piece of firewood but in the same column, it will convert that. I think use like 50 or 100 extra dollars, I forget now. But yeah, I really found a new love for the inventory system this time around. Because it is so similar but plays differently, right? Like in the first game, it was, this item is going to destroy what's next to you. So you're just like, cool, if I put it against the wall where there is nothing next to it on that side, there's nothing to be concerned with. Like nothing will happen. I just have to make sure I don't move it, right? Or like, this has to be aligned on the left. I make sure it's on the left, but blah, blah, you know, doing that. This time around, it was a lot more of like, this item is destructive and I can use that to my benefit because the items request it. Ones will be like, there's one, and I don't know all the names off the top of my head. It was really just seeing the picture and knowing what it did. But they're like, every time you burn something, gain 50 units. Like you would gain 50 every time. So I would go to a chest. I'm like, cool, there's a bunch of good stuff and a bunch of bad stuff. I would open the inventory, take this. This is going to burn. This is bad. Put in the burn, put in the bad, boom, get the money. Knock out what I needed. And then put in the good stuff, so I had big money, but the other items were getting boosted. So it was a lot of that, like, oh, this is good, I like this. I'm seeing the numbers tick up, like, not quite Balatro, but you know you're seeing your number go up in Balatro, where you're like, I'm doing something right. And that's what I was feeling here with Moonlighter. Every time I would find the perfect items to put with another item to make something so much more valuable. Like, I have this one piece of firewood in the footage for video watchers that's worth $800. A piece of firewood is worth $1. Like, it's one unit. So I buffed that up by 800% nearly. So I'm like, yeah, that's a good piece of firewood.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure this is a run where I whiffed it. So that firewood was only worth like 400 by the time I ended. But yeah, I love the inventory section now of like that is such a cool thing that I think changed that I wasn't ready for. And now that I've got my hands on it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. And I can't wait to see what other items, will play as we get to new areas with new effects and like, what those are going to mean for everything. Exploring the dungeon, there wasn't too much new. Really was just finding new items, but like going through and finding my comfort of like, okay, where do I need to go and heal? But like, there's not like an abundance of healing pools, right? It is I found it, that's all I'm going to get, but like you don't recharge your potions, at least not at this point in the game. But it's like, I could go for the regular boss, or there's a stronger boss, which will give me like double the loot, but I only have this much health. Can I make that happen? We'll find out. I'm going to try. So I did like risking it, because it is one of those, like, even if I get locked in the room, I'm bad at it because I want to commit to beating the room. If I go in there and I know I'm going to die, I could just run to a corner, hold B, and teleport out. I can escape. Yeah. If I want to risk it and try and live, it's not going to go well. But like right here, you're watching me fight with 2 health. I'm like, I should leave. I should leave this room.
You should.
I don't think I do. I think I die. But I'm like, I'm going to beat this guy up. Actually, wait, hold on. I might have this, Tofr. I might have this one. Wait, hold on. I got this motherfucker. He's done. Close. He's done, though. Does he?
It's so close.
Hold on, team. I don't know what happens in this clip. We got to watch. He look like he's almost dead. He's almost dead.
Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Oh.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Yeah. Beat that little shitter. Yeah, I'm so good at this game, man. I'm good at it. But I absolutely did not beat this run. I totally died at some point. But yeah, like it's so much fun, the new style of combat. It's very different because, again, we talked about like the isometric stuff, the very like fixed camera of Moonlighter 1, where it is like you're looking top down on a pixel art world and this is so much more. The camera's moving around. It's 3D. This is more isometric, but rather than the Binding of Isaac map of like I can go to a room and backtrack and like, oh, I can leave this here, but if I go here and do this, I can go pick it back up. This is kind of, there's a lot more finality to what you do in these rooms, because if you leave an item in a chest, like you can't backtrack to it. It's there. So you do have to be a lot more definitive with what you choose to do before you move on, which I'm totally fine with. I like that. I think it's a little more on the consistency of like what roguelikes are, and I think it'd be better for more players who like roguelikes and haven't played Moonlighter. It's a big bitch. That's a cool one that just explodes and kills everything around you. Yeah, I like these items, man. These are cool. Let me see. We want to talk about the shop too. Yeah, the shop. I continue to do better at the shop. I ended up getting this little, I think it's called a boglet. I can't remember what they're called. They're like little creatures. They sit in the corner. And essentially every time they're just sitting there like, I need attention. You go over there, you pet them. It's just like another one of like the cleaning mini games of like somebody walked in with muddy shoes, clean up so it's not ruining their experience. But then when you go over there, they will give you, I don't know if it's one of each. I might have just been lucky at the one time I noticed, but you get boost and charm, right? Which again, boost will increase by a certain amount of units when you're telling someone how much your item is worth, and the charm will increase by a percentage. So most of the time I found, let me boost do boost first so I can increase the total value. That way the charm goes up cumulatively, like, okay, this number is bigger, so the percentage is bigger. But you get like the roguelike boost here as well. Like you enter a new room, you're like, oh, if you do this, this will happen, and blah, 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 blah. I really enjoyed seeing the way those would change, because I would get new items or like every time you don't use this, you'll get another one of these. Or every time you do one of these, you'll increase the percentage of this. And it's hard to necessarily create a solid build with how quick the shopkeeping sections are. But it is a lot of like, what do I have in front of me? Or what's still in my inventory? Or even when I have an inventory of 10 things, like it's not a long day. I assume as I progress, my inventory gets bigger. Therefore, I'll have longer shopping days. There is not in-shop storage like there is in the first game. At least not that I discovered. Which I was like, oh. So there's not really like here's an item I could sell later. It seems like my goal is to go in and sell everything now and come back. Now again, that might change as we get to like the next room. But I was like, that might be the first. I'm like, ooh, I do hope that changes. I do hope there is an inventory on like level 2 where I can drop things off. Because if I get something I don't want to sell, then I really can't keep it. You know, like, and now there's a reason to keep the stuff anyway. Like, you can't use it as a player; you would just sell it regardless. But yeah, definitely an interesting pace, and maybe it is a keep an item so I can go back in the dungeon and try and buff it again. Maybe that's the gameplay loop I have to discover with Moonlighter 2. But yeah, here you're seeing like the end. I got my 5,000. You go to this endless vault, and they're like, "Hey, congratulations, you've done it. Do it again." And they'll send you to the next area. They'll increase the amount. Like now, come back with. I forget if they tell you here. They might be like, raise 8,000 in a day, right? Which now is, you're on the grind again of getting better at this area, getting money so you can upgrade your armor, your weapons, and everything. This demo only has the base gauntlets and the base sword. I did not touch the sword. I equipped. Okay. I bought it. I equipped it. I'm like, I prefer the gauntlets. The gauntlets were my go-to in Moonlighter 1. They will be my go-to in Moonlighter 2. Like, I love the gauntlets. They're fast. I love the gauntlets in Hades. I like gauntlets in roguelikes. They do it for me. They're great. I'm interested to see what the two items are, because if there's a hammer, that might also be my shmoove. But I also realized in building my ending here for Moonlighter, the first game had the option to switch between two weapons. Like you could equip a sword and gauntlets or whatever. This game doesn't have that option, and I'm wondering if that's an unlock we'll get later, or if it's you definitively are picking this weapon. This is what you're going in with. So that's definitely interesting. How has that changed from the first game or not? It seems like it's you pick a weapon if that's what you have, as opposed to being able to swap between. Which again is fine. I'm just like, but will I be able to change? I can sit here and ramble all day about my time with Moonlighter and how I enjoyed it, the visuals, the music, the brain tickling shopkeeping moments. I can't sing the praises of how much I enjoy Moonlighter. I don't know that it's the best game that ever exists. I don't think everyone on the planet is going to love Moonlighter. I know Danny's going to love Moonlighter. Danny has loved Moonlighter 1. Danny has loved what he's played of Moonlighter 2. Danny will continue to love Moonlighter once we get this full game in my hands. I'm very excited. And
I'm really happy.
Okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just
gonna
meandering.
I was gonna mention I'm very happy that they kept the reaction faces.
Yeah, they're
during
so
the
good.
shot moments, because I loved those faces. They're so adorable, and it's good to see that those remain from the first game.
Yeah, it's so dope. It's the weird nostalgia of like, this is a new thing that still holds so much sentimentality to the first one. I don't even know if that's the word I want to use, but like, yeah, you see something that's so familiar in like a new coat of paint, and it just feels right. Another thing, when you beat the demo, they're like, by the way, we gave you another boss. Give it a shot. Fuck. I thought I was doing so good. I was like, I got this guy. Now, they did give me the sword. I'm like, you should have gave me the gauntlets. I think I would have bodied this nerd.
Yeah.
But they have like giant spinning tops where I'm like, oh, these are easy to dodge. And they start throwing shit. I'm like, stop. Don't throw things at me. Then I get him through phase 1. He's like, you're done. Do not step to me again. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'll go to bed now. I'll go play other demos. I apologize. Yeah. I could gloat about how much I love Moonlighter. I'm going to talk about it again when it comes out. Hoping to God I get like a review code for this one. Like, it's one of those cool things as the creator. We get so many review codes, right? It happens all the time. We talk about how it's like there's so much shit to play. Like, how can we cover everything? Like, Moonlighter is one that I'll stop the world for. Like, if Digital Sun's in my inbox, like, hey, we got you your Moonlighter key. Like, enjoy. Especially if it's a PlayStation key. Man, I would love that. Yeah, I will. I'll be like, Tofr, this is the Moonlighter episode. I don't care what you played this week. We're talking about Moonlighter, okay?
I'm looking forward to that episode.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I love Moonlighter so much.
What the hell is going on with that boss, by the way?
You know, honestly, let me get back to you. Let me tell you. It's a lot, man. It's so much. There's wind, and like, oh, look, there's space. I can kind of run around. But they're like, what if I kill you? And they blow a bunch of shit up. I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, I don't know what was supposed to hazard me there. I'm like, maybe I just was really good at staying in the right spots. But then they're like, no, I'm going to keep smacking you. And then they spawn little tot, and I'm dead. And they're back to menu. Like, you want to go again? I'm like, I do, but I'm going to die. But, bet. There was our Moonlighter ramble for the day. Timestamp. Anyway, what did you play?
The next game I played was called Starbirds.
Yes.
Which is the new game by Tucana Interactive, the people who made the excellent puzzle game Dorfromantik.
Never heard of it.
This one, you play as a race of birds who have evolved to start space travel.
Okay, we love it.
Which is interesting, yeah. And the basically gameplay is that you're traveling through space, and you land on these comets, and you have to gain resources from these comets. You do that by planting extractors and other machines, and connecting them to like your launch pad. I thought this was a game that was that was essentially played on mouse and keyboard, exclusively. Yeah, because it looks like that. Like you're connecting everything. You're working these machines. It's an automation game. Yeah. Usually automation games are like in the realm of mouse and keyboard. Right. I was playing this on my Steam Deck, so I was like, "Is this gonna work? Am I gonna make it work?" Surprisingly, it worked very smoothly.
Okay,
this handles so well on Steam Deck.
Hell yeah!
It's an amazing time. It's it's colorful. It's just as good of a puzzle game as Dorfromantik was in my eyes.
Okay,
and that's if you know how much I love Dorfromantik, I own both the video game and the board game. Then you'll know that this is high praise. It's just so much fun. Like, there's writing, because you have to... basically, everything you do in the game is quests. You will get a quest from the captain of the ship, or like the science chief of your ship. And what you have to do these quests in order to gain resources, and then you can do something else, and everything becomes connected. And the writing on these quests and like the dialogue between the different characters, it's just so much fun. It's a really nice cherry on top of what is a really good puzzle game. So I really, really recommend this one.
This is dope. I like... We've seen this at a couple showcases, and there was part of me, I'm like, oh yeah, we've already covered this, right? Like, we played a demo somewhere, and I looking at the trailer, I'm like, no, I guess this would have been the first demo, right?
This was the first demo, yeah.
I do love the visual style. The birds, like the style of like 2D birds is really cute. I'm interested, right? Because it gives automation game. And I think of Oddsparks and how that worked. Is it, do you have one big world that you continue to build like assets on? Or you're like the captain gives an order, do you get like a meteorite and then you put your stuff on it, complete the mission, move to the next one? Is that like, what's
that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
You move, because for example, you'll always enter an area that has multiple meteorites.
Yeah.
And then you'll land on one meteorite, get what you need from that one, but then you'll get then someone will ask you for something that isn't available on that meteorite. So you have to zoom back out and go to a different meteorite, land there, and do it all again. When you've done all of the quests, then you move on to the next zone, which will again have multiple meteorites.
Okay.
And yeah, essentially, you're trying to just go further and further into space.
Okay, now, jumping between meteorites. This is important to me. I don't like space travel. Is it just a click and go thing? I'm not like No Man's Skying, flying from one meteorite to the other?
No.
Okay, cool.
You have a screen, and then on the left you'll have your ship, and then on the right you'll have the different meteorites, and you just click on which meteorite you want to. There's the screen for video watchers. So you don't have to do any actual flying.
All right. Let's go, baby. We're fucking in it. Yeah. This one looks awesome. Again, we've seen it before. It's definitely on my wish list. I'm actually shocked that I'm double guessing if it's on my wish list because it didn't show up on my games you have wish listed. I'm like, oh, I totally had it, right?
The thing is, the Next Fest page didn't show every game that's on your wish list that had a demo.
Got it.
I noticed that.
Steam. Come on, man. Gabe, pissing me off. No, this looks great. I'm very excited now. Do we have a date for this guy yet? I don't know if I have
2025.
Okay, so no lock-in time, but before the end of the year. Awesome. I'm going to download that demo. I'm in the browser. It's going to open Steam now. Sorry, team. It's all good. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Wrong scene. I went to full cam. I want this one. Perfect. We're a mess over here. It's fine, team. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. The Starbirds looks great. I've not played Dwarf Romantic. I've seen it. I've just never gotten my hands on it. And Starbirds looks like it's more my speed. So I think I think this will be one I will download the demo for. I'm sure the people on this end will hear the bing in a second once it finishes downloading. But
I hope you'll enjoy it too.
Thanks. I hope I do too. Probably won't cover, or I might be like, hey, I played it pretty great. But okay. Any other thoughts on Starbirds?
No, it's a definite recommend from me, and I was surprised by that because I didn't. Yeah. Even though I'm a big fan of Dwarf Romantic, I thought automation games not really my jam. Yeah. But then I played it and I was like, hell yeah,
all right. I see it. I'm about it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. But tell me about your next demo.
I shall. I played a game called Brew. This is a game that I was not familiar with. This is one that showed up on the recommended. I'm like, let me see what this one's about. So in Brew, you play as this little mouse who wants to become an alchemist. And you have taken the alchemy school admissions test 15 times. And they're like, hey man, you keep failing. That's kind of rough. I think you failed 50 times, which is a new record, but I like the chutzpah. So let me sponsor you. You can come to this school, right? So you're like, cool, I got in. You get into the school. Now, the only thing is you still have to pass the practical exam. And this is where it becomes the third person roguelike, where you are running in, you are beating up, I say robots. This first level is all robot based, right? So you're fighting through the academy. You're learning what do the teachers teach? You're taking on their courses, what items they use. The first one's the mechanist, however you say the word. So you're fighting a bunch of robots. Every time they die, they drop materials, which you can they go into your pocket and you can quickly craft potions on the fly, which you can either use to throw at things, you can drink them, or you can put them into your gun. So there's different ways to combat enemies. I think off the rip, the default ones are air, fire, and water. I was afraid it was going to be a little clunky to try and snap between, but it's very quick and very swift, right? So you're running through these levels in 3D. There's a few features that end up being skills, like the double jump. This game feels like it would need a double jump, and you can get that as a skill, like during a run, but it's not like a default. That's when I feel like should just be there. I'm like, it felt, because when I got it, I locked it in, but I'm like, that's a whole skill I could be using something else just so I can jump a second time to reach things. And kind of fast, kind of hard as I'm running in through because some of these robots will just like dash at you, and I'm in the middle of like reloading or trying to dodge. But I do really like the loop so far. Especially because, again, it is the roguelike, so you play through the level, you get to the door, do you want to go to the healing room, do you want to go to the shop, do you want to go to this, that, and the other, and then anytime you want, you can just hold the left trigger to pull up the wheel, and you'll see like what your inventory is. So you can be like, I have enough of this material, but I don't have enough of this, but I do have this, so I can craft fire potions. So you grab the fire potions, you can throw them out of the ground like a burst of flames, or if you put them into your gun, it's like a shotgun. So it'll be like, pew, pew, like 2 like shots of flame. I was a big fan of the water, because it's blue, but it is like a lob where you lob a shot up, and it puts like a pool of water, or, well, hold on. So if you throw the potion, it puts a pool of water that I think like pulls them in, and then you can like lob for like splash damage if you use the gun. So it's a nice combo. But like the air is cool too, because if you throw an air potion, it puts like an air tunnel on the ground, which you can like leap into the air and get above things. So I don't know how many more types of spells there's going to be, if these are just the 3 main ones you kind of mess with. But like, it's fun. It gives me the like, not quite as intricate, but the spell break vibe of like, oh, I have 2 different types of spells. How can I combine them? In my experience, they don't like intermingle. I don't throw fire into winds to make like a flaming tornado or anything, but like I could jump into the air and then throw a fireball down. So I can kind of, how does this combo work for my builds? It's really cute and charming. I'm a big fan of how this one plays. I got to the first boss. She's like a hyena lady with like robot arms, where I'm like, man, I would love to beat you. And I got her really low, but then she like summons more robots and beat my, I was seeing if I could cheese it here. If I'm like, can I shoot her before I step in the ring? Couldn't do it. I thought it might be fun. Stylistically, it's really cool. I love the character designs. They do the like, it's basically like you failed the test, start your day over. You have that Harry Potter classroom scene of like everyone taking notes, like, oh, B-roll, like on to our next day. You can buy new hats. You can buy new upgrades. You can find medallions and like coins in the runs, which then go to the overworld. You can sell those to the shop. I only really got the first major upgrade, which I think was the gun itself. But there was like a whole list of things I didn't really look at, but it's cool. It's a fun roguelike. I don't know that it's like the most polished, most high quality thing I've ever played. I have no like major complaints about like, other than feeling some of the skills should just be there as opposed to upgrades. Like again, the double jump, the dodge is there, but there's like the double dodge, which I'm like, that's fine being an upgrade. But yeah, it's cute. It's a fun one.
Yeah, I had this one on my radar as well, but I there were too many demos.
Yeah,
I didn't end up playing this. Also because I'm not the best at roguelikes.
Sure.
So I decided to give other games more of a priority. But
yeah,
I like the look of this one, and this boss fight looks tough.
Yeah, it's nuts because like I only got to fight her once. So I was like, can I beat her first try? And it's a lot of those like, what are her skills going to be? Because she has like a dash, right? Which when you start, it's just the 1 dash. But then as you progress, it turns into like 4. So it's like, and if you like, you dodge early enough, you can avoid her. I guess if you dodge late enough, you can still dodge her, but your dodge doesn't, I'm saying dodge a lot. Your dodge doesn't cool down fast enough to do it immediately. But then she does this claw thing, which is like 3 attacks. It's vertical, horizontal, vertical, or vice versa. So I'm like, oh God, there's so much to dodge and be ready for. So it's a lot of learning what her, which is most, boss battles anyway, learning the patterns, getting used to them. But it was still like a fun encounter. I did enjoy fighting her. I wish I went back for a second one because I'm like, I think I could take her a second time if I get there. Yeah. I guess the only other weird mechanic is there's like a punch. There's like a melee. I did not find myself using it very often. It felt like I was punished every time I did because with the gun, it's better to stay at range of these things that also have range or like movement-based abilities. If I was using like, I got a skill that was, if I would punch something, it would immediately reload my gun. So it wasn't like the cooldown. I'm like, this is great. This is awesome. But if I'd go like in this room, I think I have the upgrade. If I go to punch this thing, it's going to laser beam me. So I'm like, okay, so that skill just seems kind of useless in a room that's so projectile or like dash based. So I'm like, I don't know if I like the punch. I don't think I see myself using the punch a lot when I go through this game again, but yeah, maybe that's just an adjustment thing. But Brew, cute game. If you like roguelikes, keep it on your radar.
Nice.
Yeah. Time of Stampio, and then Tofr, another game that we both played.
Time of Stampio.
Time of Stampio. Listen, you know, I've been watching.
I didn't know you spoke Spanish. Damn.
That's it. It was Spanish. It definitely was not a fake Japanese thing. Yep.
Oh, it was Japanese. No.
I was going for like. I like just putting. How do I time Stampio? Like you know. Adding extra syllables so it sounds like an anime word. But okay, Spanish it is. Don't tell the Duolingo bird I skipped my lessons.
Listen, the Duolingo bird can go fuck itself.
Honestly,
they only use AI now.
Oh, do they actually?
Yeah, they got rid of all their human employees and replaced it with AI tutors.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Rosetta Stone it is then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm sure there's alerting ones. I think Babbel's one of them. I don't know what Babbel. I see ads, but I've never seen Babbel. I don't know anyone uses Babbel.
I've seen plenty of YouTubers being sponsored by Babbel.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Well, hopefully it's good. But yeah, we both played Consume Me, which was fun.
Yes, we did.
I just went. Yeah, what did you think of Consume Me?
It's a really interesting game because it deals with quite heavy subject matter.
Yeah.
Eating disorders are not something to trivialize, but at the same time, this game is like gamifies everything.
Yeah.
But it's done so well. It combines like the numbers go up mechanic of something like Balatro, and it does so really well, but it never trivializes that it's talking about something pretty heavy.
Right.
And I loved it. I love the art style. I love how the characters are written, because like you play as a teenager, and I really felt like you were playing as a teenager.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The things she says, the things she thinks, the things she does, it was adorable. But yeah, I loved this game.
Yeah, I was a big fan of this one. So I tried to play the demo the other day before Next Fest, and it was just a distracting day. I'd play for like 2 minutes, have to do something, whatever. But it's really, I say charming a lot, usually when it's based on a visual style. But there's something about the charisma of the main character, who I'm blanking on her name right now. But essentially, yeah, you have this like stereotypical Asian mother is overbearing, you know, story going on where the whole thing starts. You're eating, and the moment your plate like overfills, your mom comes in. She's like, "Why are you so fat? Like, have you seen the beautiful girl from like Sunset? She looks so great. She lost so much weight." And like you as a teenager is like, "I guess I have to fix my life." So now your whole life becomes, I need to work out. I need to eat in a deficit. I need to, you know, and you're tracking your not tracking your calories so much like as a thing, but you're like, when you eat breakfast in the morning, you have a scale of like, how do I, how much?
It's the number of bites.
Yes, the number of bites I take before it's like, that's too much, that's too little. And like, it starts as the stacking mini game, but then it becomes like a more Tetris fill in the blanks puzzle mini game, right? And you want to fill as many blanks as you can, but if you have too many pieces that don't fit, like then you starve a little bit, right? You're like, I didn't eat, so you don't have enough energy for the day. So it's a lot of balancing to get your skills, but it's not super punishing in the way of like you failed. It's more story driven of like you're exhausting yourself because you feel the need to be perfect. And I like that. It's one of the reasons like I like unpacking, where the story isn't directly just like, here's what is happening, enjoy. It is Consume Me is like, I can't complete this task right because it's too challenging, but it's also like, I'm just learning to diet. I'm just learning to work out. How do I accomplish these things right? And that only comes with time and practice. And I think that's told very well in this game of like, you're not supposed to go in the first time and get the perfect run on one of the puzzles and go from there, right? But then following that up, you have conversation with yourself in the mirror. You have your chores to do, which you eventually need to save money so you can buy a swimsuit for the big party coming up. But also like you wear a new set of clothes every day over the summer, and after you wear all your outfits, you have to go do laundry. Otherwise you're wearing your pajamas all day, and each outfit can come with stat boosts and stuff. So there's a lot going on in here that I'm a huge fan of, and none of it felt out of place. And at no point was it just like, I don't really like this thing. It feels like it's too much. Like anything as small or as big as it was felt like this is the thing that makes sense for a teenager to be going through in the most gamified way. And I love it. I want more.
Yeah. I especially loved the way the game is edited. It reminded me of like the movie director Edgar Wright, who did Baby Driver and Scott Pilgrim and stuff like that. Okay. And where you have like these really quick cut montages, and I feel like they use them here as well, and it's just so well done. It really brings to life how like frenetic a teenage life can be. Yeah, and a teenage mind especially. It's I love this game, and I can't wait for September.
Yeah, I want. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Like this seems like it'd be like an afternoon binge kind of game, but like I would not hate if it was longer. I don't know, because so in the demo you get to play, which I think wasn't necessarily like Steam Next Fest exclusive. I'm sure it's still up. But yeah, you start like, hey, I have to start dieting. Then you meet the cute boy across the hall. He's like, hey, like you're a senior now. I said, yeah, you just graduated. Yeah, back and forth. We should hang out sometime. She's like, I have a crush. I think I love him. Then like the next day,
you marry him.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I gotta get better so he'll love me. And your friend shoots you a text like, hey, there's a party this weekend. Like, are you going to go? He's going to be there, etc. So like your week then is making sure you're eating right, working out enough, getting your chores done so that you can raise money to go buy a brand new swimsuit that he'll be into. And then, you do that, but they give you a checklist on the screen, right? Which is like, complete this, do your chores, get enough money to buy a swimsuit, and then do extra chores, which are like, they'll be read an entire book. Like there's study guides, which anyone watched the video when you saw this mini game, it was like keeping your eyes locked to the book. And then doing all those things come with keeping your stats in check, right? So wearing the right outfit that gives you more energy, or wearing the right outfit that gives you more mood, which like makes you happier to stay and do things more consistently, or better hunger, et cetera, et cetera. And that loop is really enjoyable because it's not super taxing, but it is like, there was a point where I went to start my day. I'm like, I have to do laundry tonight. And the game was like, I'm really tired. I should get some rest. And then I woke up and like, I didn't do laundry. No. So I had to wear my pajamas, which was not the end all be all, but I had the like, shoot, if I go out and all my friends are going to see me in my little heart pajamas, I'm going to look so dumb in front of my friends. I'm like, oh, never mind. It's not that serious, but like a teenage girl, that'd be very serious. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really infatuated with what this game's offered so far. I think it does a lot of really dope things gameplay wise that are super unique from other games. And I can't wait to see what else like pops up. I'm like, oh, here's another new mini game I get to do, or like you unlock upgrades as you go, right? Where it's not so much a level up, but like I guess you complete a day and like, cool, you could add, I could do my makeup during the day, which will like free me time because I have more motivation, or like I have a new workout, which is going on a jog with the dog. And like perfect timing. You walk the dog and it's got this like, the first thing I can think of is like Donkey Kong King of Swing on the Game Boy Advance. I'm sure it's a better example, but it's like you have two pivot points. One is you, one's the dog. So you swing, and then as soon as you stop, the other person starts to move. And like there's mini games like this for all the different tasks. There's folding laundry, and I just want to see all of the new mini games that are going to keep popping up as we get new chores, new responsibilities, new like fun tasks. We're going out and hanging out with friends. I have to imagine we're going to get one where we go on a date with the cute boy, and like that'll be some kind of fun mini game, and I think there's plenty to do, and I want to see it all.
Yeah, me too. And apparently the full game will have over 13 different endings, with most of them being bad.
No.
So I'm really curious to find out what this is going to be like.
Then that makes me hope it's a shorter game so I can try and get a lot of them, because I want the happy one. If you're going to keep giving me sad endings, we're going to have a beef.
Exactly. Also, I wanted to ask you this. The reading minigame. Yeah. Did that feel ADHD coded to you? Like having to focus on the page but being distracted by everything else?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because even as I was playing it, it wasn't so much like what is coming at me. It was like... it was more of what was coming at me as opposed to something was coming at me. Because like in the clip we were just watching, the first time you read, there's a cloud of a toilet, and I was like, Am I thinking about going to the bathroom? No, I'm thinking about toilet humor because I'm thinking about dumb stuff or horny stuff or like what, or like there's images of like the boy flying by. Like I'm thinking about the boy, ooh, and like I just kept watching the things flying at me, and I'm like, as someone who has recently started reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, good book series, I'm enjoying it so far. I have to read the book out loud because if I'm just reading it in my head, one word will send me down a track of like I'm thinking of something else. I'll be like something donuts. I had a donut the other day. That was pretty good. I do like donuts, especially the one, but I'm diabetic, so I can't have too many donuts. What did I read? Yeah. So if I'm reading out loud, it's like it goes in from the brain, out the mouth, back in the ears, so the cycle stays, so I can keep doing it. So I felt that while I was reading in game. I was like, yeah, okay, that's me. Oh, good time. God, the makeup mini game, man, I hated that. I could not succeed at it. I couldn't beat it. I got close, but I kept being like, I missed a mark on the eye. Shoot. Hell yeah, Cosume coming out. We said September. Is that one?
September, yeah. September 25th.
Okay, baller. Then with that, I think I double timestamp. It's fine. What you got next?
This is one I was really excited about.
Yes, I'm excited to hear.
It's called TRON Catalyst. You wouldn't expect a TRON game in an indie game show.
Yeah. But, Disney? What are you doing?
This is the second TRON game by Bithell Games.
It sure is.
The people who made Thomas Was Alone, among other things.
Yeah.
And I was really curious to find out what they did because their last TRON game was a visual novel. Mm-hmm. And this one has visual novel elements, but it's also a kind of roguelike.
Okay.
And that you're walking around and driving around the world of TRON.
Yeah.
And you're stuck in a time loop, which is
fair enough. We love time loops.
Yeah. And basically what happens is you start the game as a courier.
Okay.
But one of the things that you have to drop off explodes. So after that happens, you wake up and having been captured. And they're asking what happened, but you have no idea what has happened. But they don't believe you. So you're forced to fight in this arena where all of these prisoners are being kept. But that's where you first encounter the fact that you're stuck in the time loop. And it's interesting because I cannot figure out for the life of me how the time loop works.
Okay.
Because, for example, right? you meet someone in that prison, and you have to collect something for them.
Okay.
So you go but the thing is, you can't collect it anymore during that day. So you have to restart the loop. Collect that thing, then restart the loop again and go and meet that person. But somehow you keep stuff when you restart the loop. I'm not sure how that works.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's giving like the death loop. There's another game I'm thinking of that does that. Yeah. The loop part where you keep the shit. I can't think of what it is, but it's like the ones that aren't a roguelike but do the loop thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as you might expect from Bithell Games, the writing is really good. The voice acting is on point as well. Gameplay wise, wasn't really feeling it.
Okay.
The combat felt like it wasn't punchy enough. Like hitting someone, it just felt like you didn't make contact with them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
struggled
with it, and I didn't even finish the demo because I fell out of love with the game whilst playing it. Yeah, it's a shame because I love the world of TRON.
Yeah.
And I just think that this is going to be a game that people who are already into TRON might like this.
Yeah.
But people who have no affinity with that franchise will probably not care about this.
Yeah. That's fair. I'm not like a huge... I love the vibe of TRON. I love light bikes. As like I used to have a light bike game on my iPod. I would play all the fucking time. Ooh. Like I liked that. But like my TRON history is the Kingdom Hearts world and Kingdom Hearts 2. I think it is like... I've seen the first TRON, not enough to have an extended conversation about it, but like, I've seen it. But yeah, like TRON's not really my universe. I'm sure I could find love with it, but just, another franchise I have to pick up and get involved in. See, I kept seeing this one in a spot of like, I don't think I'm going to grab it. Like, I don't think I'm going to check this one out. Like, it looks cool visually, but, and hearing that the combat isn't punchy, like it doesn't feel the way that you hope it would, is the first thing I'm like, okay, well, I know, like, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, I have Lost in Random. I would just play that because that feels right to me. So I don't think I have to worry about finding something to replace Tron when I know I have something.
Well, that's why I wasn't too big a fan of this game, just because there's plenty of other games like it that feel better to play.
Okay. Does it seem like it's a visual? Because I'm immediately thinking I always play with a controller and I feel the vibration. I even like forget that exists sometimes. Where I'm like, oh yeah, I can feel that. Is it like the sparks don't fly? Is it like mechanically I'm not getting enough out of combat? Like, I guess what makes it feel lacking?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
It just like I played it on Steam Deck. Does Steam Deck have vibration? I think so.
I want to say it does. Again, I feel like I
think so.
I thrive on vibration and pause. I didn't really notice it till this year, but like Marvel Rivals on console occasionally has this bug where like if I'm clicking on something as I start a match, the rumble won't kick in until I die and respawn, and that definitely throws me off because there's a vibration when your cooldowns kick back in.
Yeah,
and it really throws off my pacing because I don't feel the vibration.
Yeah.
So when I have to like go in and die right away so I can get that, so I'm more dependent on myself how to play. And I didn't really realize how much I thrive on vibration until then. And the Steam Deck will be one where I'm like, does it have vibration? It must, right? I feel like it does, but it might not. I don't know.
I think it does. But yeah, it's a combination of visuals, audio, vibration. Yeah. It just doesn't feel like you're punching someone.
No.
Oh, why is my eye being so annoying?
Sorry, I can't handle it, man.
I keep tearing
Pop it out. Why are you crying? It's just Tron. Bithell's gonna be fine. He's gonna be okay. He's not gonna be upset.
I hope so.
Well, I guess my Steam
But yeah,
off.
This is a Devolver Digital game, by the way.
Oh, damn! Devolver, what are we doing? So far, it's not vibrating. I don't know if I have to load the game. Okay, I don't have the time.
No,
some of the comments tell me it vibrates.
But yeah, that was Tron Catalyst. It was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, that sucks. Sorry, Tron. Do better. But let me timestamp. Let me tell you about a game that I played, Tofr.
Yes, please.
This is one that I think I've been seeing on TikTok, and it wasn't on my wish list, but I'm glad I found it. This game fucks. This game is going to be awesome. This game is called Dead as Disco, and it is essentially a rhythm-based Sifu. And I love it. I had so much fun. So there was only 2 levels. One is basically just like the endless, like infinite disco, waves keep spawning until you lose type deal. Or maybe there's an end, I didn't get it. But then there is another level that's like a subway station and you're battling through it. This is such a sick vibe. The visuals are awesome. So it's a lot more. I compare it to Sifu because of the style of the gameplay, but the combat is a lot more of like the Arkham, like dodge this way, punch, dodge, punch, do the finisher. You know, Spider-Man, Batman, your other superhero games. It feels a lot like those. But yeah, vibe and visual. I think it feels a lot more like a Sifu. I went into this like this could be fun and left them like holy shit. You could import your own songs. I tried to put in like the CGDannyB theme song, which didn't really hit because I don't think the BPM matches. I was like, I have to Google how to find the BPM of a song so I can find a song that I can put in here so it could be really cool. But the default track you get is a cover of Maniac that slaps. It's so good. Like I went to change the song. I was going down the playlist. I'm like, I like Maniac. I just want to stick with Maniac. So like I would definitely recommend if the demo's still up, check it out just to hear that cover. I keep wanting to say the band is Hemlock, but that's the name of the level. So maybe they're the same name. No, okay. So Maniac Story Hemlock. Okay. So whatever the cover is, I'd play it, but you know, I don't know. It's the game. Maybe it's fine. You won't be able to hear it. It's fine. But yeah, so you go in, you parry. There's like a rapid like smacking kind of combo you'll do. So as you charge it up, you can hold it's like RT and X. You use like a ring ding 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 with like your staffs. You have regular enemies. You have the big enemies that have shields, which you have to dodge in a certain way so you can break their shield. But I definitely want to show the subway station. I think that's where it starts to shine. But like you start in like the terminal, right? Like I got to catch my train, and it does like a narrative progression. Like as you beat a section, you teleport to the next spot. But the whole thing is the world around you is changing, but you're still focused on the combat that's in front of you. So you go from like, I'm going to load onto the train, but then you end up in the subway tunnel and you're like dodging trains. So as you're fighting someone, you see the marks come in, like the train's on the left track. So you need to move to the right, you know, and then they'll get run over and smacked and like, oh, they're dead. But like that was extra points for me because I didn't get hit. And then again, you see the track coming the other way. So you jump around. And then it's, again, this is where I think the beats per minute part matters for the song, because your combos, I think, come in at a very specific pace, regardless of like when you input them. But what I tried to do with my theme song, it just felt like I was smacking with my own music in the background. So it fits super well with the version of Maniac that was in the game. And I want to see those moments, right? Like I want to see someone take like the most famous song out there, like something off the Guardian soundtrack, and put it in here and be like, oh yeah, this hits. This is really good.
Damn.
It's like I want to say more, but this is such a feel it, not tell it type of game. It's so sick. And then they don't give you the final boss in this level. They give you like the cutscene of like, here's what happens. Check out Dead as Disco when it comes out, you know, whenever. Such a vibe. Again, for people who like Sifu, at the Xbox showcase, we had another game that was very Sifu-esque. It was like Axe something. I forget what it's called. That was another one. I'm like, yeah, this scratches. Watch the bodies pop when they get run over by the train. It's funny. So cool. So. And like here, there's like, here it comes. Psych, you can't dodge, but next area. And then you have like the sideways run through the subway station. And I saved a clip. Somebody I think was like, use the keyboard. I'm like, no, I'm on controller. Let me switch back. Super dope. Please wishlist Dead as Disco, because this one's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the visual style it just pops off the screen.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for it. I want to see if there's any last like clip I could show here where you fight through, you beat the train. Yeah, so like the boss shows up and there's like a little cutscene of what he would turn, and then there's like, uh-oh, he beat the train, he's coming after me. I don't know if this will turn into an actual fight that's not ready yet, or if this is like stage 1 of level 1 type deal.
Maybe it's doing the Amazing Spider-Man 2 thing, where that's the final shot of the game.
Oh my god. I'd be really sad.
Can you imagine?
Oh, right here. I didn't even notice it. This is when they give you the trailer of what else, you know, coming soon. And that's the boss. So it looks like, yeah, there's the encounter. So thank God I get to fight him at some point. Yeah. And they show the concept art of other things that are to come. I assume these are other bosses and other stages. And it all looks really cool. As like, I've platinum Sifu twice. And I love that style of combat. This one is less, it's not the, again, I hesitate to call Sifu a roguelike, but in ways. But this is a lot more of the power through the level, beat it, you know, and get the rhythm down, and then come back and do it again. Get the points by like hitting notes and not even hitting notes. It's weird, right? I don't know how to explain the rhythm part without having like your Guitar Hero rhythm. Like there's not like I have to hit to these moments. It's more I have to hit to the right moments of my combos. So it's cool in that way.
That's cool. I'm gonna download the demo for this.
There you go, baby. Get in there. That is disco. It's fun. Timestamp. What else we got? Tofr?
Well, I was wondering. So you're a big PlayStation fanboy. Did you used to have a PSP?
I did not. I was a Vita kid.
Okay. Because the PSP had these rhythm games called Patapon.
Yeah,
exactly. I remember. Exactly. The first 2 games in that series are being remade for the Nintendo Switch. I think that
I didn't know that.
Next month. Yeah.
Okay.
That releases next month. But the original team behind those games have made their own game called Ratatan.
Yeah, they did.
And to say it's inspired by Patapon would be understating it.
Yeah.
This is basically Patapon, but under a different name. But It has this gorgeous art style.
Oh my god! Look
and it has this world where you travel sideways, and you collect these kobuns, these little creatures, and then you do combat, but you let these creatures fight for you, and you do that by giving them commands on the beat. So you have different you have different combos that you can use. One is like to make them retreat, one is to attack, one is to jump, and you have to choose which one of these commands you enter, and then these kobuns will do the fighting for you. It's just like the original games. It's just awesome. It has music that will worm itself inside your head and not leave.
I'm excited to hear the music because I played a little bit of Patapon on the PS4. Okay. I think it was a PS Plus game at some point. Like I've tried it, and like the Patapon is all that stuck in my head. So this was at Summer Game Fest. I couldn't get an appointment. I've not touched Ratatan, but I've also not watched like the trailer to get the music. Yeah. So my default is that this just goes Ratatan, which is totally hoping is not the case, but it'd be really great if it was. But I have no idea what the music sounds like for this. I assume it's so similar to Patapon, but it's not quite the same, but enough to be like, oh yeah, that's Patapon.
It's very close to Patapon. But yeah, it has visuals that I think were like one of my favorite visual styles in the entire Next Fest.
Okay. Oh, look at that fucking boat.
It just
thinks so cool.
It just looks beautiful on your screen.
Yeah.
When you're playing it, and it's a definite recommend for me. And if you want to play the full game, you don't have to wait too long because it releases on July 24th.
Hell yeah! Is that a early access or that's a full release?
I think that's a full release.
Okay.
Yeah, full release.
Hell yeah. Ratatan, baby. Yeah, this one looks great. Another case of like, I would hope that I'm playing this on launch day, but we'll see. What's out then and what I'm playing.
We'll see when Moonlighter 2 drops.
Oh, right.
Because it's supposed to come out this summer, right?
Yeah, listen. If they fucking pull Hades and they moonlight and they moonlight me. They fucking pull off a Hades. I'm like, guys, Ratatan's today. I can't wait to stream. They're like, hey, Moonlighter 2. I'm like, never mind. Ratatan's not here. Moonlighter is. Yeah. No, I do love the style of this game. Like it's a vibe, cute characters. They all look really cool. Very, very jazzed. Let me see. Did I timestamp? I think I timestamp. If I didn't timestamp, no, I did. The next game I got to play is One Move Away. Which
I saw that one.
Yeah, it's essentially it's 3D unpacking, and that's really cool. It's fun. Hold on, I got bad footage here. I need to move forward. So again, I talk about unpacking a lot. I really like unpacking. Probably, now that I think about it, might be a top 10. I don't know. It might be at least a top 50 for sure. But, but I didn't put it in my top 10 last episode, so it's probably not top 10, but definitely top 50. But yeah, like I always talk about with unpacking, where there's the you move to the new house, the story's told as you're, I'm going to open this box, and why can't I find a place to put these things, and blah, 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 blah. Like, this one so far has not done a lot with the narrative of it, and I'm sure that will unfold as we go. But you start the tutorials, you're a kid in the yard playing with like blocks and Legos, and you're like learning how to do the controls. This is one of those games that looks like it's a VR game, and it is not. Like, and I was ready to pick this one up and be like, this just doesn't feel right, but it feels really good. It's not quite Goat Sim, Gang Beast, goofy, rubber hosey. Like, it's not like that. It is you pick up an item and you can like extend your arms and retract your arms, and then it's placing, and then you can rotate the item. So it's a lot more like geometrical in that way. Geometrical? I don't know if geometrical is a word. Anyway. So yeah, you start off, and essentially rather than you moving into a new house, you're moving out of an old one, and it's loading up your vehicle with all the stuff you have. The demo only had 2 levels. The first one is just loading your trunk. The second one is loading, later in life you get a bigger car, but it's not much bigger. So you have like a front seat and then like a cab in the back to fill stuff with. And it's going to your stash of stuff, picking it up, putting it in the trunk. How can I fit this in? Sometimes you'll have like textbooks which you can stack on top of each other. Like I initially started putting things in. Eventually the game's like, hey, remember, if you have books, you could stack them, or folders, you could stack them and try and do that. Sometimes it was getting like the hairdryer and rotating a certain way so I could like stuff the nozzle down in the back so the handle would sit down, but there's like an invisible wall of like, you can't exceed this, otherwise you can't close the trunk. And this is one that I was recording like Snapchats for a friend as I was like, hey, I just finished this game. This is what it was. And like, she was listening to the podcast. So it was like, here's what I'm going to be talking about this week kind of thing. And I was like, I like this one. I think this is one I can't see myself streaming because I don't think it'll be fun to watch. No, I think this will be one of those like, God, why can't he put the thing in right? And I think a lot of people will say that. And they're like, why can't you just rotate? I'm like, I can't. It doesn't work that way. You're not feeling the physics that I am. It doesn't. It doesn't spin that way. That being said, I was like, this seems like a perfect. I'm going to put on a movie, put on music, a podcast or something, and then just mindlessly pack things into my car. This felt like a good, like, nonsensical is not the word, but yeah, a very just like veg out, do my thing. People who like power wash sim, spray paint sim, something that is just not so much I have to pay attention, but I just kind of have to do. I have to do as I go in each level. I think this will be great for that kind of thing. I have to imagine it's going to be a long draw for how much there is to play. I don't know how many levels there will be, but yeah, if it's anything like Unpacking, where it is there's not a lot of levels, but each level is kind of long. I think that'll be a lot to cover, because then you get to like the second level here, right, where you have this whole trunk, but you put in a bunch of boxes, you have a TV, you have items that can like be manipulated, you have a folding chair which you can fold up, or you have a lamp which you can extend or shrink. So if you extend it, you might be able to put in the long way. If you shrink it, you can put in like a cubby. It doesn't seem like there's a right or wrong way to do it. I think what might have been easier was me to put the TV in the front seat and then put the two like kitchen chairs that don't fold in the back. But instead, I put the TV in the back on the left. Actually, I think I probably just have the footage of it. And then I put the two chairs in the passenger seat, like stacked funny. So I have the one that leans up over, and then I like shove the other one down so the head's on the floor. And I was like, I can get this in here. I can get it in here. I can do it. Hold on. Just rotate. Hold on. Try again. So I'm like, let me take this one out and try again. So it is kind of goofy in the way like sometimes things just bounce back out at you. But it is a vibe. It is just, again, I could just see having another source of media on and existing in a room where I'm just packing my stuff into a car to move on and do it again.
I'm a big fan of the fact that when you finally get everything in, you give yourself an applause.
Let me see if
you should do that more often in life. I had a therapist once who was like, you need to celebrate things more. And I'm like, hell yeah. Great.
You start applauding at the end of episodes. Guys, this is another episode of Playlog. We did it.
Yay, we landed the plane.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the tutorial. Oh, God, let me tell you. Sidetrack, SGF. The first time I've had someone clap on a plane, God, I hated that. That was the first flight I ever took, never happened. It wasn't an issue. But my flight back from SGF was like a field trip. Kids were going to Baltimore for who knows what. But, man, we landed, and it was like 80 kids like, yeah! I was like, I hate you all. You guys were so calm this whole time, and now I hate you. I can't believe you just did that. I was annoyed. But anyway, I got to find the kid clapping, finish the level, put the thing on, put it up, drop it, and then I didn't fix all this shit. Come on. Here he goes, peeking out to here. Put the block up. I want to choose the clap.
Just show us the clap already.
Yeah, and then because like a little like goofy kid clap. Yeah, one move away. I did the wrong scene. You don't want Tofr on the screen anymore. I don't know if we have a date for that one. One move away, Steve.
Nope, no date.
Nope. Okay, cool. So yeah, not even like a year. So someday, play the limited time demo. So that one will be gone, maybe already.
Okay. I noticed that the Moonlighter demo hasn't been taken down yet.
Guys. Go play the Moonlighter demo. It's fine. I already beat it. I have nothing else to play. You can wait till I get the full game. But yeah, coming someday. But we'll see. Timestamp. Tofr, what you got next?
I played a game. I don't even remember how it got on my radar. It's called Quantum Witch.
Okay.
It's the debut game by a developer called Nicky J.
Okay.
And it's really hard to explain what this game is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, it's like before the one of the Steam tags was platformer, but it's not a platformer. I mean, you traverse this world platforming, but it's not a platformer. This is a story-based game. You have to read the dialogue and like get involved with everything that's happening and everyone that's talking to you. Like the skeleton who can see through time. He does this great little dance. So what happens in this demo is you wake up from a nightmare, and you find that your flock of fair, which are basically magical sheep, has gone missing.
No,
they're all over town, and you have to herd them back to your home.
Yeah.
But while doing so, you meet this quirky cast of characters. For example, there's a market going on.
Okay.
And all of the stalls are being manned by video game characters. Pac-Man is there.
Okay.
Lara Croft is there, and Princess Peach is there.
Love it.
And they kind of make fun of like the games that that these characters are based on. Pac-Man apparently is a drug dealer. He's like, do you want some pills? I got some pills for you.
That's
stuff
awesome.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Or when you're talking to Lara Croft, you're like, why does an archaeologist need guns? For the tigers. You mean tigers when you... Yes. It's really funny. Like the writing is really what captivated me here the most. It's you know that I'm not the biggest fan of games that try to be funny. This game is really funny.
Okay, we love that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, as you're trying to herd your fare back home, you run into this woman who's stuck within like a bunch of vines.
Okay.
And she's like, she has been there for like centuries.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I want to help you. And she's like, no, you can't help me. I cannot be helped. It is too late for me. Okay. And you're like, but surely I can help you. And that's where the demo ends, because that's when the story will continue. But it looks like there's going to be, like the Steam blurb mentions a feud between old gods and every choice having consequences. And you just basically being stuck in between all of that. It's hard to describe this game. And I would really recommend playing the demo. It's still available, because this is really, really cool. It's a narrative game. If you like narrative games with a really good dose of wit, then you'll love this. And if you like the demo, the full game is releasing on the 24th.
Okay.
So you don't have to wait too long for that either.
All right, this one seems cool. I like the definitely we have the trailer on loop here, which is like 40 seconds, and I don't think I would be sold on this. I think you telling me like the references to other characters, right? The Pac-Man drug dealer thing and some of the other choices and narrative things happening, I think is making me a little more interested. I don't know that it's when I'll drop everything to play. But I can expect, I'm like, Tofr's like, I played it, and here's how I felt about it. I'm like, okay, cool.
I will be playing it. I have already received a key to review it.
Oh my God.
I will be playing it because I love this.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you want an example of the humor, you can see during the trailer, there's a woman, a warrior woman standing in front of a door that you meet.
Okay.
And she's like 2 heads taller than you, and you're like, whoa, you're really tall. And she's like, oh yeah, do you want some combat training? There she is. So you're like, yeah, sure. So you go into that building, and then all you can see is that woman's foot and her shin bone, because she is ginormous. And then she's like, yeah, now you're going to get combat training. And I'm like, really?
No? I thought, okay, I guess we could do that. Okay. I like that. This sounds cool.
It is a game that's it's a very adult-oriented game.
Okay.
Like, it's going to deal with heavier themes. For example, it's not afraid to mention sex.
Oh, yeah. We love sex.
So I have to mention that, like, it's not a child's game. But if you like narrative games with a good sense of humor, with a big sense of adventure, You're gonna like this one.
Your one. Okay. Hell yeah. Looks dope. We'll look forward to hearing you talk about it soon.
Yeah, me too.
Let me see. What else did I play? Here we go. I played Hotel Galactica, which was at the Wholesome Game... Yeah, the Wholesome Direct last week. Time's a weird place. So essentially you are... It's a management game where you're running this hotel for like... I don't think I use the word aliens, but like other people throughout the galaxy, right? They're coming and staying at your place. I'm sure this is a very long demo. It is overwhelmingly positive on Steam. It has like its own page and people love it. I did enjoy my time with it. It's really cool. I think it's one of those management games where what I got to play in the demo for the hour and a half I got was very like, here's a tutorial. Here's how you do the things, as opposed to like getting my stuff up and running. But I really like the visuals of this one. I think that was probably the big selling point for me. All the alien type creatures are like super cool in designs. You're like playing God here, maneuvering, and they're like, oh my God, management, this thing needs to happen. We're trying to open the hotel, but we don't have a bathroom. We don't have a this. So you start and all of your staff will like roam the premises and do tasks, right? So you'll find like, oh, this needs to be open. This needs to be closed. This needs to da-da-da-da-da. So you can find the thing, click on it, and like initiate it. So maybe you'll start constructing the room, or you'll like put items in there. But like an item's in the basement, it needs to be moved upstairs. So you click on it and drag it. You're not moving it, but you're designating a task for someone else in the hotel to do. So you'll like the first time you build a bathroom, you don't buy or craft anything. You're like, we have sinks and stuff in the basement. Someone can bring them up. So you grab the box, you drag it up, and now there's like a path made. And then one dude will go downstairs, grab it, bring it up, and then you can unpack it. But again, you don't unpack it. You just click the box. Where do you want to put it? A member of the staff will eventually come up there and place it. And you can like set priority of like focus on this one first. Like whoever's closer will get it done. I think some labeling of the rooms would be super helpful. Maybe it's something I hadn't unlocked yet. The beginning of tutorial, I spent like 15, maybe not 15 minutes, like 5 minutes trying to figure out what it wanted me to do. Because it was like, hey, drag and drop someone into the dining room. And I was like, is this the dining room? Which one's the dining room? I don't know. And like, I think I was like rapid clicking to get through the game, and they wanted me to help this guy who's like, my knee hurts. Ow. And I was like, is this the one? It doesn't say the dining room. I don't know where I need to go. So I think having a hover like dining room, kitchen, whatever. And if I can name things, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, whatever, I think would be beneficial for me as someone who sat there like, where am I supposed to go? I don't know what I need to do. Once I got through that, it was pretty smooth sailing. But yeah, you get to the point where you can eventually open the hotel. Customers will come in. You drag them to a bedroom. I think, and this might just be typical for management games, and I just wasn't adjusted to it. Most of, if not everything, requires you to initiate it. You have to tell like the game to do something. Which, cool that there's so much to do, but sometimes it leaves you hanging, which didn't really affect me. But once I had guests come in, let me see if I can find the clip. See if I find this poor little sucker. Once I had guests come in, Maklo, he's like the chef. He goes and cooks everything. Then when he cooks, he puts them on like a stand. So you have to assign like, hey, take these to the customers. I hadn't noticed that one of the little guys ordered his food. We made the food, but I never picked anyone to go deliver it to him. So he sat there all night long. I think waited, like it says, like 17 hours for. Sorry, he waited almost 8 hours for his food. And I was like, oh no, I never made anyone pick it up. I didn't get any kind of like bad Yelp review or anything for it, but I scanned by the kitchen. He's just like, I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry. So I had to assign someone to come bring him his meal. But like, I gave all of his friends food and he sat there alone. I was like, I feel really bad. And then he was like, here's your dinner, sir. And he's like, yay, food.
He must be hungry.
He sat there for 8 hours. I felt so bad.
Damn.
But yeah, like out back, there's like trees and rocks. You can have people go and like break those down, and then they'll one by one carry them into the storage unit and everything. I have to assume you'll get other staff members that are bigger and stronger that can carry more than one thing at a time. You'll get tasks that are like, hey, unlock the radio station, which, you know, it's happening here. I'll have someone set it up. And I think it was more just like another accessory for the hotel. Like people love listening to music while they're having dinner type deal. This is kind of where I wrapped up. Once people could start checking out, I'm like, this is cool. I do like the vibe. I could see myself getting lost in just the management part of it. I don't do a lot of management games. But I think this one is one that sells me on its style and its characters before its gameplay, and then I can fall in love with the gameplay. But yeah, it's really cool. I think it's early enough. Actually, I don't know. Do we have a date for this guy? Let me pull up the Steam page. I'll know. Hotel Galactica,
California.
We're going to the Hotel Colorado. No, because on July 24th. So this one's right around the corner.
Nice.
Yeah. We have a demo still on Steam.
July and August are going to be packed, Danny.
I'm telling you, brother. Who's playing games? Not us. There's no time. There's so many, I can do none. I'll get the decision paralysis. Unless it's Moonlighter. Then there is no decision paralysis. But yeah, I think this one's really cute. I think, like I said, if you go to like the Steam page for Hotel Galactica, is the demo down? No, here it is. You just had to search more. Yeah, it has just about 2,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive. People love it.
Wow.
There was a point at the beginning where I got to like pick a character. I don't know if I was picking myself. I don't know if I was picking my staff. I didn't really notice it do anything. And maybe that's just because I've only picked one. So it's like, here's the default. Here's what happens. Maybe if I picked another one, I would have seen differences. But I was like, okay, I'm not sure what I actually picked. I don't really know. But yeah. If you like management games and you like cute little animals living in those hotels, you're set.
Absolutely.
But with that, Tofr, what else you play?
Yes, I played Under the Island, and I really believe that this is a very Danny-coded game.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of these 90s kind of Legend of Zelda RPGs.
Okay.
Like the top-down ones.
Yeah.
Look at the art style. It's cartoony.
Yeah.
It immediately evokes like the SNES era for me. And it's really cool. So basically what happens, you are a teenager who has to move to this island with their parents. But this is an island where that like gets cut off from the rest of the world for 3 months a year for some reason. But yeah, you're not looking forward to it. You're leaving all of your friends behind for an entire year.
Yeah.
Because you have to move here. So when you arrive on the island, you start trying to make new friends. And you meet this girl called Avocado.
Okay.
And she's like an expert on like the island's culture and history. And you go to this shrine that's like a religious symbol for the island. And you're not supposed to touch it, but because you're a rebel, you do touch it. Anyway. And all of a sudden, the floor underneath your feet disappears. And you drop into this kind of tomb where you find out that there's the island was created by these mysterious creatures. Yeah. And apparently the island is sinking into the ocean. So it's up to you and your new friend to save the island. And you do this with what was supposed to be a mythical weapon, but someone got there before you, and they left a hockey stick instead. So you fight with a hockey stick, but you collect all these different kinds of items like bombs and stuff to fight all kinds of monsters. And it's such a good time. It plays so beautifully, and I'm in love with these visuals, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one I downloaded. It's on my Steam Deck. I haven't touched it yet. Was that Wholesome? It was at a showcase recently. I want to say it was at Wholesome, but maybe I'm misremembering.
Could be. I don't know. I don't remember.
But yeah, I looked at this one, and the first thing I thought of was Moonstone Island.
Yeah.
Which I was thinking it was more of like the creature catcher kind of thing. But like, now that I'm looking at it, because I was like, it's like survival game, or not survival, like the farming sim, the Stardews, whatever, is what I thought this was.
Nope.
And now listening to talk about it, actually like really paying attention to it, I'm like, oh wait, hold on. I like the vibe here. This is pretty cool. This sounds like a Danny game. Yeah.
Like it reminded me kind of Eastward as well.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, that's dangerous. I never finished Eastward. That should be a book club.
It should be, but I got stuck in that one, and I don't know how to get past that point where I got
tutorials, baby. We look it up online. How to beat the monster. Hell yeah. Yeah, this looks sick. I think this one's on my wish list.
It should be.
Because I either wish listed it when I saw it, or it came up on the games on your wish list type deal. But yeah, this... Yeah. Yeah, okay, I see it. I catch the vibe. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So there's no release date yet for this one, but I'm hoping it won't be too long of a wait because, like gameplay wise, it felt really good to play.
Okay, hell yeah. I get it. Ooh, I like the visuals are selling me. I like them a lot. Let me see. Tamostampio. Bet. I had my folder shot of order, so we go here. This is one of the other games that wasn't on my wish list that I checked out. I was like, oh, this is kind of a vibe. It is a 3D platformer. It is called Aeromachina.
I haven't heard of this one.
I hadn't either. And I was like, ooh, let's see what this guy's about. So it's a 3D platformer. You're playing as this like squadron that's giving very Star Fox. Like you have the rabbit character who's kind of your peppy. You got the tall, edgy one who's maybe kind of your Falco. I thought it was going to be very like a Star Fox super coded of like, I'm going to be doing this kind of flight stuff. And then as I get in, I'm like, oh no, you are a character who is like indirectly building yourself kind of into a jet. Like you get all these upgrades that are like jet associated. Like you get like a jump pack that kind of boosts you up into the air. You get a glider so you can fly across gaps and stuff. It is one of those 3D platformers that feels like a PS2 game in like the good way. Like the visual style, is very retro. I think one of the things I like the most about it was the evolution of like the equipment, where it's like I have things to do. How do I progress? Like, sorry, you can't go here yet. And then you find the upgrade. You get the foot stomp. Like, boom. Okay, cool. Now I can go back and do the 7 other things I walked by. I think it's jarring at first because it's just like, why can't I do this thing? What do I need? And then once you find it, you're there. You're like, cool. Now I need to go back to that room. Though I thoroughly enjoyed it, I do have a lot of just like nitpicks where I was just like, this just didn't feel like I was going the right way. Like what I assume is the end of the tutorial is like, all right, you got the stuff. It's time to get to the hangar. I didn't remember where the hangar was. And there wasn't like an icon on the map that said like, oh yeah, here's your new objective. There wasn't like an objective marker. All your objectives are told in like a Metal Gear, like bleep, bleep, like the conversation. I don't know what's called Metal Gear, the comm, whatever. Because like you see at the bottom, well, hard to see behind me, but you can just see it peeking out my camera, the like little sonar thing. Whenever there's something to be said, that'll blink. It happens a lot. It's a little overwhelming. Where like every time I'm like, I walk in the room, it's like blink, 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 blink. And eventually there you get an upgrade where it's like, oh, you can find secret items in the room. That also triggers that. So like sometimes it's just a lot where I'm like, I think I'm done with the tutorial. Can I just move on? But like, I almost wish it would just self-initiate then. If they're like, hey, you're in this room, check out that thing, as opposed to me needing to activate it to be like, hey, you got into the room. Make sure you check that door over there. Like it feels like here's the guide with extra steps. Like, I'm like, I don't really want that. The combat is fine. It's a little hinky. It does a lot of like aerial stuff where like you want to jump and smack things in the air. But like, even then I think I found myself at a spot of, I'm going to jump and I'm going to swing 3 times until the character happens to latch onto them. Like you lock on by holding a button, but as you kind of linger towards someone, it's all based on you kind of propelling yourself with a swing. So I like jump and I'm like, swing, swing. I'm just smacking the air. And then that 4th one has finally pushed me far enough that I actually hit the thing, but then it teleports away. So I kind of swing to get to him again. So it was not fighting things on the ground was fine. Not a big issue there, but like, we'll see if this is one of those moments where I'm like, let me fight the thing in the air. Here, like, I'm like, I got to get to him. Dash. Yeah, it's a little more like you don't have a lot of verticality to do it, at least not at this point in the demo. I can see myself playing this one more because I did really have a good time, but like far from perfect. I don't think they don't feel like things that are going to change in process of development, as opposed to like, I think these kind of are what they are. I think there'll be like nitpicks of like, this didn't feel great as I played through. I wish it changed, but I do enjoy the visual style. I do enjoy the characters. I think the upgrades are really fun. I just think the gameplay is less than desirable at some moments. Like, platforming's fine. I think if I could find another moment, let me see if I clipped it. They were like, hey, you have to do this glide thing to get across this gap. It's not here. Let me see if I can find it. But it was like it was a dash, a jump, a glide, and then like another dash jump. which I spent like a minute doing. It just felt like it wanted me to do more than I actually had to. So I spent like, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. But it really was just a matter of like, yeah, you got to trust the process. Because once you would dash, jump, and glide, you did have the verticality to make it. But it's one of those inverted controls, you steer down to go up, but that usually sends you down. You have to steer up to go down, and that's the right direction. But repeatedly, I'm like, I'm not going to make this jump. And then I was like, okay, I would have made the jump. I was just, overcompensating. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm not screaming the praises of it. I played a good maybe hour, which maybe was longer than this demo is because I was getting lost a little bit, not knowing exactly where to go. I would like a few just fine tunes to make it feel a little more accessible for like, if I mentioned like the comms, right? We're like, hey, your next objective is to do this. If I'm not near the thing where they tell me that, like I can't really look at something and say, where do I need to go? So like if I'm in the kitchen, which I'm just making up words here, like, not making up the word kitchen, but like I'm making up objectives in rooms. If I'm in the kitchen, they're like, hey, we got to make sure we get a sandwich for the guy downstairs. And then I go to the garage and they're like, the overall objective is blank. I'm like, shoot, what do they ask me to do? I'd have to remember where the kitchen is, find the kitchen, activate. Hey, don't forget to get a sandwich for the guy downstairs. Right. That's what I have to do. But if I can't find the kitchen again, it's like, am I going to get, how lost am I going to get trying to find something that doesn't have much of a mission objective? So I think that's probably my biggest thing when it came to like progressing once I got towards the end of the demo. But fun game.
It's interesting because like the visual style reminds me of like the first PlayStation or maybe PlayStation 2 era.
Yeah.
But listening to your explanation, it feels like the game has the same limitations that games from that era had. So,
kind of. Maybe a little bit, and I'm wondering if that's either an oversight or a choice. I'm hoping it's an oversight, because if it's a choice, it's not a choice that I like.
Yeah, I get that.
I'd really be like, you know what, that's fair. We should do that. Actually, hold on, because I didn't have the Steam page up. I don't even know if that's anytime soon. Aeromachina. Let me see. Low poly 3D platformer. It does say coming soon, so it doesn't seem like there's like a super close release date. So, hypothetically, if we see this, we're like, yeah, I would love this to change. Kind of cool. But again, this was a very like negative sounding preview. Like I did enjoy this game in a perfect window where there's nothing else I'm hyper fixated on. I get a key for this one. I'm like, yeah, I can see myself getting into it. Will I probably take forever if I don't have the objectives that I need to figure out what I need to do? And it is categorized as a 3D platform Metroidvania. So maybe that's maybe I'm not thinking in the right place. But again, in a Metroidvania, I would like something a little more guiding for me so I know where I'm going. If it's either names on the map so I know what room it is, or an indicator as opposed to not the comm that's just like, find the thing. Where's the fucking thing? Like, I don't know. One of those kind of things, but
I get that.
Yeah, Aeromachina. Look at it at your own pace. Now Tofr, one you said I'm going to really love that I haven't played yet. I need to hear about it. What else?
Well, listen. Someone has to play these Devolver Digital demos.
Listen, let me tell you, man. These Devolver games can't be getting into them, man. Don't get it.
And it's not even just a Devolver game. It's a Heart Machine game as well.
It's downloaded. I'm trying.
It's called Possessors, and it's this really slick action adventure platformer. The visuals. The easiest way to explain this is it plays as well as it looks.
Great. Awesome.
That's how highly I rate this game. So what happens is this city that the game takes place in gets overrun by, like, I guess, demons.
Okay.
And a sort of cataclysmic event causing the entire city to go into lockdown.
Okay.
During this event, you lose both of your legs.
No!
Yes. So that's not good. But then you meet a demon who is now also trapped in this city.
Okay.
And he's like, I can make you walk again, but you have to help me. So you form an alliance with that demon and you regain your ability to walk. And then it's up to you to get both the main character and the demon back to their respective homes. Okay. And maybe save the city while they're at it. This is after the disappointment that was Hyperlight Breaker.
Yeah.
And that early access launch. This is Aeromachina at their absolute best. I think I've played some of Hyperlight Drifter. I played some of Solar Ash. I think this is my favorite game I've played of them so far. Of course, this is a demo, so this is only a small sample size. But still, gameplay, like the combat feels so fluid. Yeah. The platforming feels so good. And just as you might expect from a Heart Machine game, the visuals are glorious.
Yeah, it looks
and
good.
This is such a Danny game. And I think the demo is down, sadly.
I'll fight.
So you'll have to wait.
No, we'll see. Hold on, wait. If I can't, let me see if I can launch it. I can see if I can launch it.
Maybe if you turn your Wi-Fi off.
Maybe. Hold on, let me find out. Where the fuck is it? Here we go. Possessors, play. No! You're right.
Yeah.
There's no licenses. Hold on. Maybe let me see if I turn off the Wi-Fi. Turn that shit off. I don't need that Wi-Fi. That's dumb. My Steam Deck can't reach the internet? Yeah, no licenses. I hate my life. I should have played it sooner.
Listen, we've had very busy times.
I hate it.
But I do recommend playing it if it gets another demo or on full release, because this is a game that you will love.
I'm very excited for this one. We talked a little bit before, right? You were just like, Danny game, Heart Machine at their best. I'm like, that's great to hear, because Solar Ash currently stands as my favorite Heart Machine game, and I haven't even finished that. Mm-hmm. But like Hyperlight Drifter is one I've tried multiple times. I don't stick with. We had our episode talking about Hyperlight Breaker and how like that, you know, the way that hit for me and like how disappointing that was. Mm-hmm. But like, I can't say, even with Hyperlight Breaker, like I haven't been like excited for a Heart Machine game the way I am for Possessors. Mm-hmm. Like, I see the trailer for this. There's a tether to Devolver, which usually means like, you know, great things. But like, regardless of that, like this looks more my speed than the other Heart Machine projects. I look as this seems more fine-tuned and not necessarily linear, but just more, here is the project in front of you. It's a 2D platformer, action platformer. Like, this is what you're getting. Mm-hmm. And that sells for me. And the character designs look sick. The visual style, it's Heart Machine. Like, and no one does like Heart Machine. I love their style. It's awesome. And Possessors takes we went from a pixel art to a 3D, another 3D, and this is the more vector-based 2D style that I think looks really, really good. Mm-hmm. Like, if you told me this was Neva Gree, that team. Cannot think of the team name. My keeps saying Monolith, and that's not it.
No, hang on. Neva was made by Nomada Studio.
Nomada, yes. This looks like a Nomada game with the Heart Machine style, and I like that. I like that a lot. This looks awesome.
Yeah.
I want it. I'm going to shoot an email.
Go for it. Who knows? Like, maybe you get early access or something.
You know, I might have my connections at Devolver. Maybe like, hey, any chance? Like, no, you missed out. I'm like, please. I really tried. It was SGF. You guys didn't give me an appointment in SGF. That's 2 appointments. It's 2 times I missed playing this fucking demo. I hate my life.
Oh.
Podcast is canceled. I'm not doing this shit anymore. No, like again, I was super excited for this. We again, during the Hyperlight Breakers, right, we talked about like this game kind of flopped. We know Possessors is coming, but like, how is that gonna feel, you know, right off the tails of Breakers? And I sat there like, I'm gung-ho, I'm excited. I still feel something for this one. It feels right. And like, hearing you say you played the demo and you loved it and you wanted, like, you're like, Danny. I'm like, yes, please. I'm ready for it. I want to see it. I want to play it. I want the demo back so I can try it and then go from there.
Well, hopefully maybe we can get a release date anytime soon, but
hopefully available today, baby. Let's go.
Just shadow dropped.
You heard it here first. You imagine I launched the Steam page and just like, oh yeah, we figured we'd just come out today. We're good. We got good praise for the demo. Hell yeah. Let's see. What else did I play? Let me see. My next one's pretty short. I don't have a whole lot to say on it. Okay. This game is called Jumper John. It is from Ogre Pixel. Pixel Ogre. Yeah, I have to remember the order. It is a 2D platformer from the guys who made Lonesome Village and from Tiny Sticker Tail. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to remember that one too. The names. Yeah. So you play as John, and as you start the tutorial, like there's not a whole lot to do. You reach the end of the map, like you should go back. You get a little cutscene, and then you pick up a feather, and the game's just like, do you want to play on normal mode or like free mode? And I'm like, give me normal mode. And then they get a message like, you fucked up. Like, I didn't say you fucked up, but like, oh, you made a mistake. So if you play on normal mode, this game essentially becomes Minute, except it's 30 seconds.
Wow.
And it's a 2D platformer where you live for 30 seconds, and every time you pick up a feather, it resets the time and gives you a new checkpoint. I did not play for the full 15 minutes the demo offered. I picked it up, played for like maybe three or 4 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I see what this is. It's very cool in concept. I think I could find myself enjoying this. I didn't. This might be a wrong place, wrong time type of demo that I checked out. Mm-hmm. I think when I saw Pixel Ogre Pixel, again, I fucked it up. I looked at this and I was just like, I know the visual style for their other games, and this didn't quite feel the same.
Okay.
I still like the style. I still think it looks cute. I think I just expected that sticker look that I didn't get out of this one. And I understand it's a different kind of game. It doesn't really, maybe that style takes more, to develop, and I can't really do that for something as action heavy as this. But you end up getting like your double jump. You'll go through levels. You get the key. If you die, it looks like you keep items. Like I progressed through an area, grabbed a key, and then ran out of time, and it took me back to my checkpoint, but I kept the key. So that might be the gimmick of like, okay, cool, I could just sacrifice. Like I go up, I get the item, boom, die. So I go back to where I need to get to the door for like speed running strats type deal. It's very cool. I like the idea of having a fast paced Minute is pretty dope. And if anyone doesn't know Minute, it's like a Zelda-esque game.
Like you're describing a speed running strategy where you sacrifice your character after obtaining the item in order to respawn back at a designated point.
Stop. I don't know why that happened.
Because you were describing a speedrunning strategy, Danny.
Yeah, did I say Google? Did I say search engine? Maybe I said cool when it did it again. I hate when I do that. But yeah, no, it's it's a cool idea. Again, for Minute, it's like a Zelda-esque game where you die every minute, but then you explore, find items, teleport around the map, etc. I like the snappiness of having to find the feathers to give you an extra 30 seconds because you're living 30 seconds to 30 seconds to 30 seconds. And if you die, you don't like die, you just reset at a checkpoint, which I haven't got to a point where it was super detrimental to my playthrough, but it is cool. I do like Jumper John. It's a pretty cool one. Right. There's a slime hitting me. I'll get that fuck off my screen. Time, Sam. Tofr. What else we got?
My next game is one that I don't have that much to say about. It's called Bits and Bops.
Yeah.
And it's a collection of rhythm mini games. And basically what the demo gave us was 6 of those mini games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they are a lot of fun. So each time you have, like, for example, the first one was, as you can see if you're watching the video version, you have this seal who's bouncing a ball on his nose, and you have to take a picture exactly at the moment when the ball bounces off his nose, and you have to do that set to a certain rhythm. So you get a couple of moments to practice, and then you have to do it for real. And when you succeed, you succeed. And it's really fun because it starts out simple, like you're taking pictures of the seal again and again, but then all of a sudden, instead of a ball, it's you're the one jumping on top of him, and he's bouncing you off of his nose, and you have to take a picture of that. It introduces these funny elements to keep things fresh, so you're not just constantly doing the same thing, and it's fun. It reminds me of a different game. What was it called? Oh, I can't remember.
An indie or just another game?
An indie, yeah.
WarioWare.
No, the rhythm based one, where you're like trapped in your dreams.
Melatonin.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
If you like that game, you'll like this one. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah. I backed this one on Kickstarter. I'm very excited. Is it this year? I forget. I feel like it was at the accessibility show. It says Q3 2025, so this one should be out soon. Now, I played the demo like back when I backed it. It only had 2 of the mini games. It was the bird one and the seal one. So hearing that there's 6, I'm like, is this demo still up? Because I kind of want to see what else is in here. But also, if the game's so close, I might as well just wait. But yeah, I was a huge fan of this one stylistically. It looks awesome. I do like this style of rhythm game. I'm not a big rhythm guy, but like, yeah, you mentioned Melatonin. I was a big fan of Melatonin. There's a WarioWare-esque like gameplay loop to this, where it's like, here's a quick mini game, and like, not necessarily like WarioWare isn't so much rhythm based, but having the screen's gonna change, this is gonna happen, do the thing, and then you get the rhythm elements of it, which you mentioned already in the Melatonin part of how similar it is. Of you get the tutorial and like, cool, now understand when you need to hit the beat when this part of the song plays, and then do that through the whole pace of the thing. And I'm like, this is fun. Big fan of bits and bops. Very like cartoony Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry's have a good example for the cartoon style, but like, yeah, fun.
It's a fun one.
Bits and bops, baby, bits and bops. It's so close. I hope it's like. See, I should check my Kickstarter and see if we got any other word on that one. Because I want to play that one for sure. Time will stump you. Okay, I have 2 left here for me. The next game I played was called Benny Bash. This was at the 6-1 Indie Showcase. I saw it in a month and thing recently. But Benny Bash is essentially the exploration part of Inscription mixed with classic Mario games, and it's really cool. So you roll up on this old cabin in the middle of the woods. And like, there's no key. What do? You find the key, you open your inventory, open it, you go inside, and there's just a bunch of random things. There's a computer that has a console connected to it, but no game. There's a briefcase off to the side. There's a clock that's missing a hand. Like, there's all these different knickknacks. So if you've played Inscription, like you play the board game part, the roguelike part, the deck building part, but then as you roam around the cabin, there's other things like, oh, there's a puzzle here. How do I solve it? You hit this button, open this thing, find the password. Oh, cool, I got a new card. Oh, I got a new item. This has that escape room mechanic to it that I really, really enjoy in my puzzle games. But then you solve those puzzles, then you get to the computer and you play Benny Bash proper, which is the video game, which is just a classic Mario platformer. I did not try with controller. I think the platforming would feel a lot better with controller, because it's it's A and D to move, and then it's left mouse button to jump. Didn't feel ideal for me. I wish it was spacebar, but I'll have to try with controller. I actually downloaded this one because Emily from No Small Games, she was playing it. I'm like, cool, I didn't know how to demo. I got to check it out. There's me dying immediately on the first level. But if you've played Mario 64, you have the 3D Mario head that doesn't really talk to you, but that's what this is inspired by. You have Benny, who's this really awkward, just hello, you're my friend. Come and play a game with me, but don't let me die. And then when you die, he's like, I'm getting very disappointed in you that you're letting me die. And it's okay, sorry, Benny, I'll fix it. You get 5 lives. I don't know what happens if you lose. I didn't let that happen. I got better at the platforming right away. I was I can't die. Very short levels. They're a little, again, on the challenge side, there's a lot of look before you leap with this one. As Mario, you're okay, I can kind of predict what's coming. But this one, I'm let me just jump, and there's just a flaming wall. I'm oh, okay, I'm dead. I'm about to die. That sucks. But yeah, then you beat the levels in game, and you meet someone, his name is Bushy, right? And you can play the demo if you don't want the spoiler part, but the Tofr, you were watching me play it before we recorded today. But there's a character named Bushy, and when you meet him, he's just yeah, this is crazy, something, something, something. I show up here, and good friend, things sometimes are cooler at night. That's it. And then you finish the level, and you're kind of stuck, what do I do now? And if you go back into the room, there is a clock that's missing a hand. So if you solve one puzzle, well, hold on, let me give you the steps here because it's important. When you finish each of the levels in game, they give you part of a password. So you grab a pen and paper. The first one gives you, it's a 4-digit code. You get numbers 1 and 3. When you beat level 2, you get numbers 2 and 4. You go to that box, you put in the code, you open it, you get the clock hand. You go to the clock. Where the video game cartridge was hidden, there's a timer that says 6 p.m. You set it to 6 p.m. The day changes. You go back in the game, and Bushy says a It's all in gibberish, scrambled words. This is where you came in. You're like, Danny, what? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I need to do. And then Benny will like read you a statement, and you have to type in words. And I'm like, oh, like I took a guess at the first one and was wrong. But you go back to the game, he reads it again, and you're like, okay, that word's in red. So scramble night, so free. So you figure out what the words are. You come back and talk to him, type in the words. He'll move you on to the next thing. And then you get like the final level, which is you exploring, picking up all these blue dots, very like first person Pac-Man style, but it's very horror coded. This game is sick. I love. We made the joke during the 6-Minute Indie Showcase that there were so many Inscription-like games. And if the Inscription first-person exploration is a genre that people continue to build on, like we have this, we have Benny Bash, we have Inkshade, which recently was announced. Like games that play like that, I think are really cool. And as long as they continue to evolve on like the escape room puzzles, where it's not all just like, I know exactly what to do because I played it. Like as long as they stay somewhat fresh, I'm all for them. Keep them coming, especially because again, this adds this Mario platforming to it, and you only get the first 2 levels, so I don't know what else is to come. Like how many levels are going to change and give you something weird. But just seeing this part, right, where you get the word scramble mini game inside the Mario game, like, oh, this is going to get crazy. So yeah, I'm all here for it. And Benny Bash is in like 13 days. I think it's the 30th of this month it comes out.
Something
so this
like
one's
that,
not
yeah.
far. Yeah. This demo, I mean, I was already sold in the game, but this like sold me even more. Like I think this would be a fun stream one. I would like to play this one with chat and be like, guys, Benny Bash, let's go.
Nice.
It'd be cool.
I just wonder how they're getting away with the Mario-esque vibes, because it's basically Mario. Like,
I think we call it parody. You know, we're like, that's not Mario, that's Benny, dude. What are you talking about? It looks nothing like Mario.
Yeah. I hope Nintendo will not will just let this be.
Yeah, just be chill, Nintendo. Be chill. Be cool.
Yeah.
We saw what you did the Power World. They're a big company. Let Benny alone. It'll be fine. Yeah, I don't really know. It is a weird like thing with fair use and parody and likeness. I'm no lawyer. I have no leg to stand on when it comes to that conversation. But yeah, all that aside, Benny Bash is really cool. Wishlist it and play it in a couple days because Bash the Benny. He gets mad at you when you die. Don't die.
It's easy. Don't die.
Yeah, don't die, dude. You'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, Tofr, what you got next?
My next game is Undusted, Letters from the Past.
Yes.
This one initially reminded me a lot of Trash Goblin, because you're basically you find these trinkets and you have to clean them by brushing off the dirt and stuff like that. But I feel like this one is gonna have much more of an emotional gut punch to it.
Okay.
Because at the start of the demo, you arrive at your old family home, which is in disrepair for some reason. And you're there to clean everything up for some reason. And while you're cleaning, every item that you clean will bring back memories, both good and bad ones. And I feel like there's a lot going on in this family, and I really don't know if I'm ready to. But yeah, the cleaning feels nice. It plays and especially sounds really good. Like, I believe they incorporated ASMR elements to make it feel like a really nice experience, and you could feel that while playing this.
Hell yeah!
I like the art style. It looks cozy, but cozy with a gut punch.
I played the demo for this a while back, and I assume the one that was for Next Fest is probably a new one, because at PAX, Kanai got to play it. I was capturing footage of him play. We got to talk to Ari from Toge a little bit about, the release date and everything. Nothing was said to be off the record, but I'll play it safe and say, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
But no, watching Kanai get to play this one and see as it continue to evolve with the cleaning mechanics, where you start with like the sponge and the toothbrush, and then there's the steam cleaner, which is nothing I've gotten to play, but I'm seeing that now in this trailer, right? Getting in the airbrush to clean some of the nooks and crannies. I immediately think what I said earlier with like one move away, right? Of like, this seems like a great turn on a show and just go ham. But the fact that this one uses so many like audio elements, like if it's something I could coexist and listen to myself clean in a game while I'm watching some show or whatever, like I would see myself getting lost in Undusted. I think this one is super chill, super just cozy. And yeah, I echo everything you had said about how it feels, how it plays. I just want the whole thing. I just want the game.
Yeah, me too. I did notice something in this trailer though. At one moment, she's cleaning a digital camera.
Okay.
But and it says antique.
Yeah.
It's a digital camera.
It's an antique. Listen, it's 2025. This thing's obsolete, you know?
Then I am obsolete, Danny.
Yes, you are. And now you've learned. Welcome.
Wow.
This is humanity.
Okay.
We're all obsolete in some degree.
I'll just die now.
I just have more mileage. I have melanin in my skin. So I'm like, you know. My antiquity level ages slower than you. Black don't crack, Tofr. Okay.
Black don't
I looked at that. I was like, is that a dev thing? Is that oh, it's a reference to an old game. I had no idea. I just kind of looked at it. I'm like, oh, look, a sticker. There it is. Yeah, this game looks really cute. I'm excited.
Yep.
Any other thoughts on Undusted?
No, I hope we get a release date soon because I really want to play this one.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers fucking crossed.
Yep.
Let me timestamp one more time because I think I did it early, but yeah, we figure out the timestamps. The last game I have to talk about for Steam Next Fest is one that I am so excited to play. As someone who, you guys may have heard me talk about this game before, but I'm a big fan of something called Shovel Knight, right? Therefore, really, yeah. So it's this 2D platform. You play as this little blue guy. He's got a shovel. Really underground, like has never cameoed in 50,000 other games ever. No. But though the team at Yacht Club has announced they are working on a Shovel Knight 2, which might be our like Mario 64 3D platformer one, they do have another game coming out earlier that a lot of people don't seem to know about, and that is Mina the Hollower. And it is a Zelda-inspired pixel art adventure where you play as Mina. She's a mouse, and she's a hollower. I don't entirely know what a hollower is in terms of like a role and what that means. Okay. But she she just dig. She can dig into stuff, which is a big part of the gameplay mechanic. As you start, you're like on this ship, you're sailing into town or whatever, and the ship's under attack. You start the game by like, oh no, my crew, they're dying, they're falling, what's happening? And then you get to like pick your first weapon, which is almost just like picking a starter. I had told you, Tofr, I may have just picked the wrong weapon for how this game was designed because it was very challenging. It was a very hard game because I took the hammer. I like hammers in video games. So I took the hammer, but there's also like 2 daggers and there's like the whip. The whip is what's like the trailer mascot. Like that seems to be the real weapon, the one you should take. But I was like, I don't got a choice. Give me the hammer. The hammer is slow. It's heavy. It does a lot of damage. I was killing a lot of things really fast. But yeah, it definitely was like things would dash at me. I'm like, I'm not going to hit it in time. And I would take damage. I died a lot. I don't know. Maybe the game is just challenging and that's just it. Or I was just like, I am playing the wrong weapon for the way this game is designed. That being said, still had a great time. Still beat the game, like the demo. I just had to readjust my pacing and everything. It really is a lot of exploration and figuring out how to use digging to progress further into the level. Like the first section here, you get like the boss you can't beat. You're like, I got to fight him until you basically die and then, progress forward as you would.
Yeah.
But the boss is like, look at this thing, this fucking nether kraken. I'm like, look at you, dude. You're nuts.
That looks sick.
Yeah. And I love the pixel art because it's so weird when you're like, oh, it's nostalgic, it's retro, but like retro can mean so many different things. 'Cause how did you choose your style of your game? And I sit here, I'm like, yeah, very Zelda, but like, I don't know, very something else that I can't put my finger on at the moment. I think one thing that I did struggle with a little bit, and I had the same problem with Sea of Stars. I think it's putting 3 dimensions on a 2D plane. Is like seeing when something is something I can walk to or something I can't, or something I can jump over or something I can't. I think that will just come with playing the game and finding out what the art style is. But there were a lot of times where I was just like, I don't know where to go. I can't move anywhere. And I'm like, oh, I can go up because I thought it was a wall, but it's a path. And because it's top down, it doesn't look different. So I'm like, okay, that was messed up. We're good. And like here again is another spot where I'm like, was the hammer the move? Where like I had to get these bushes There you just saw me pass it, but before this, I was trying to get those bushes and I couldn't reach them. I had to wait till it was right spot, far enough on the platform. But you progress through, you pick up, you have 3 vials, right? Which are like your healing potions, but you have to like charge them by doing damage to enemies. Oh. So you beat up enemies and you'll see, you might not be able to see it on my screen because it's like behind the camera. But yeah, you'll fight enemies, you charge it up, and when you go to fight, any other enemy that's doing damage or a boss or whatnot, if it's yellow, you can heal. Then once you use it, you got to do damage again. You'll pick up random items that are kind of like, almost like you were playing a roguelike, where you're like, oh, I picked up an extra weapon that I can do. Oh, this flies out of my pocket every time. There's like axes, there's throwing knives. It seems like you have like an inventory count that'll upgrade if I pick up a new one. I was a big fan of those, especially as someone using the hammer. It seems like I'm going to be very dependent on having an accessory for some of these like faster enemies. Because I'm like, how am I going to beat this thing with how slow the hammer is? Like, but it's cool because the hammer does have like a dodge roll. But it does seem like I have to like stand there and wait till they're at me. I'm like, all right, come here. Here. You coming to me? And bam! And then I'm like, cool. I shouldn't go to them as often. I need them to come to me type deal.
Yeah.
The music was great. It is super reminiscent of Shovel Knight in like the bit crushiness. I'm not musically inclined enough to explain how different pixel art music sounds. I hear it. I'm like, yeah, I can feel it. There's a Yacht Club vibe to it. I like it. Okay. Then I got to the final boss of the demo. You get to like the mansion. Actually, here he is. You get to the mansion. You go in here and they're like, freeze, Hollower. You can't leave. Fight me. And this is another one of those, like, he's super fast, super dashy. I'm like, oh, God, the hammer is not the right move for this. And again, that's me wondering if it is like an easy, medium, hard mode of how I chose to play this game. Like if hammer is hard, or if generally the game itself is just challenging. And no matter what weapon I picked, it would have been difficult. I won't know until I get a chance to try another weapon. But yeah, I was sold. It was Yacht Club. I knew I was going to play it. Getting my hands on it feels great. The only critique I really had was the like deciphering the level. I'm like, is this somewhere I can go? Is this somewhere I need to jump? Is this blocked off? And again, I think that just comes with figuring out the art style and learning what is and isn't an accessible location. But yeah, I think that will come with time, and I'm ready to play Mina, which I think got an October release date, if I'm correct. It got a release date. I just think of what it is.
Let me check. October 31st.
Bet. There we have it, baby. Happy Halloween. Give it to me. I ain't going nowhere. Trick or treat? That's for nerds. We're playing Mina.
That's not for nerds.
Yeah. What do you mean? It's not for nerds. Yeah, Mina's for cool people. But yeah, it was a longer-ish demo. I think it probably took me maybe, I was dying a lot, so maybe like 30, 40-ish minutes maybe to beat. It wasn't like anything I quickly powered through, but yeah, I would recommend if you didn't know about Mina and you're like, I love Shovel Knight, I love Yacht Club, then you should know about Mina. But yeah, definitely keep your eyes on it when it comes out later this holiday.
I love that it looks like it could have been a game on the UFO 50.
Yeah. Listen, when you say that, I might like UFO 50 a little bit more. You know what I mean? I didn't dislike UFO 50. I just like, I didn't get. Everyone's like, this game is awesome. Game of the year. I'm like, why? Yeah. What do you love? I mean, I like the games, but neither here nor there. We're not talking about UFO 50. Now, so you condensed a lot of these into like one section. Do you want to just like rapid fire rattle like this the game, this what it was, move on? Is that how we want to section off this guy for you?
In mind, yeah.
Alrighty.
Because I think we've been going for quite some time already.
Yeah, we're 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
We're good. We'll run it.
I have 7 games that I'm going to quickly round up here. The first one is called Morsels. It's a fast-paced creature-collecting roguelite in which you play as a morsel. And you do this roguelite battles against all kinds of monsters that work for the cats, because the cats apparently have taken over power. I really dig this art style that this game has. Also, I was surprised to see that it was published by Annapurna Interactive, because this is not the kind of game you'd associate with Annapurna. Annapurna is mostly about like emotional storytelling and stuff like that. This looks like it's way heavier on the gameplay. But I like that. I'm a big fan of like the CRT filter that's put over the visuals. So yeah, that's a really cool one. my second game is Shroom and Gloom. I have talked about this game before on this podcast. It's a deck builder where you play with 2 different decks. One of them is used for exploration and one of them is used during combat. It's made by a South African team, Team Laserbeam, who like they put the demo for this originally on itch.io as like a concept for a game that they were hoping that they could make it. And now they've been picked up by Devolver Digital, which is really, really cool. And yeah, they're getting thousands of wish lists. It's insane.
I love
how they've been how the hype has risen. But yeah, if you love any kind of roguelike deck builder, you owe it to yourself to play this one because it's that good. Another roguelike deck builder that I've mentioned before on the show is Death Howl, which is described as a Souls-like roguelike deck builder. And this one, you go into the spirit realm to try and save the son that you lost. And yeah, combat is card-based, and it's really, really difficult. It deserves its Souls-like label perfectly. I played the new demo. I didn't really see what was new about it compared to the previous demo I played, but I didn't play it until the end, so that might be on me. But it's definitely one to keep an eye out for. I also played Clover Pit, which is a game that's receiving a lot of hype. It's basically Balatro, but with whatchamacallit,
like slot machines.
Slot machines, yeah. And I did not like it.
You said that.
But I think it's a me problem because I just didn't like the slot machine. It feels too random to me. Where in Balatro you could like choose how you play your cards and stuff.
Yeah.
This felt too random, and I mean, sure, you get your power-ups that you can use to influence how the slot machine works, but I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, not enough player decision as opposed to
yeah, exactly. I guess that's part of gambling. I don't get gambling as a thing. I don't get why people do it, because I mean, you can't say that you're good at gambling. You're it's all luck based, so there's no way to be good at gambling. So
but
I don't
good
get
at being
it.
lucky, therefore I'm good at gambling.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. My penultimate demo is the Lonesome Guild. I think that's the right name. Let me check. Yeah, the Lonesome Guild. This is a game that's being published by Don't Nod, so you know that's another high quality release. It's an ARPG, single player ARPG, where loneliness has manifested into this poisonous cloud that's enveloping the lands. You have to basically assemble a team of different characters, these cute little critters, and try and find out what's going on, and hopefully try and save the world as well. You are joined by a spirit who has arrived on this planet, but they don't know who they are, where they've come from, why they're there. So there's an element of mystery. But the spirit is one of the most interesting things about the gameplay, because when you're in combat, the spirit fuses with one of the party members, giving you extra combat powers. And during combat, you can freely switch between which character you want to fuse with, which creates a really interesting gameplay mechanic. I love the look of this. It has this cutesy fairy tale like art style, and the gameplay was just really good as well. So I'm definitely checking that out some more soon. Yeah. And finally, Tiny Bookshop received a demo update for Next Fest. In this game, you run your own tiny bookshop at this seaside town, and basically, it's shop management. But it's so wholesome. It's just so wholesome. There were quality of life improvements apparently in the demo. I didn't notice them, but that's because the last time I played the previous demo was a while back, so I didn't really notice them. but
so
they're
still
there.
like fresh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it felt good. It felt really good to play. It was the exact moment in the game that you're playing again, like when you arrive in the town and the first time you go to the marketplace and stuff like that. But yeah, it's cool. You help your customers find the right books. You get to decorate your own bookstall. It's really it's really cozy, and I think that one's releasing in August. Let me check. August 7th.
August, what are we doing?
August is insane, Danny.
Yep.
But yeah,
sure
that was
is.
my my final rundown of demos.
Alrighty. Fuck yeah. Then guys, timestamp, that was Steam Next Fest. And we'll keep it chugging along because we don't have too much on what we've been playing. It's just Tofr here. So Tofr, I mean, I guess I hand it right back to you. You've been playing Date Everything.
Yes, I have.
So let's rap about it.
So what this game is, it's a visual novel dating game, where at the start of the game you work for this mega corporation and you get fired, but all of a sudden a drone arrives at your home, bringing you a gift, and it's a pair of sunglasses. But when you switch on the pair of sunglasses, all of your household items come to life and become dateable.
You love it. Date them, baby.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept. It's fully voice acted, which is insane because there's like 100 different household items to romance, and it's all voice acted. And the cast for this thing is like a who's who of great voice actors. Yeah, you've got Ben Starr there, you've got Neil Newbon there. It's insane.
Most a Critical Role, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good game. I'm not 100% sold on it, but it's a really good game, and I think you will probably like it more than I do.
Okay.
And it's basically because I struggle with the fact that there's so many dateable objects. Yeah. It's like the game is a sandbox, so you choose the order in which you play. Yeah. And I struggle with that. I would have appreciated a more linear approach to this. Because I saw someone post their full playthrough of the game on YouTube, and it was like 4.5 hours. I'm 8 hours in, and I'm nowhere near finishing the game. So I don't know. Is it because I've been looking to awaken all of the items? Yeah. And that's why my stats aren't improving quickly enough, or what? I don't really know. But it's really cool. The voice acting, as you would expect, is just spectacular. And really, it's the star of the show, because otherwise it's basic visual novel fare. Like, you talk to someone and then you have to talk to 3 different people to do something for that first person. Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's really cool. My biggest issue with the game was that there were plenty of characters that I just did not vibe with.
Yeah, okay.
And that's no fault. And like, I think that those characters were specifically written that way. And like, most of them are very extroverted. Cool. And I struggled with that because I am not extroverted at all. So maybe that was why I bounced off of them. I don't know, but yeah. Yeah. I haven't finished the game yet. I'm going to try and play a bit more tonight and maybe tomorrow. Okay. But there's lots to love here. Like Wallace, who is the wall, and all he says is wall. Okay. Yeah. And then you have like these sexy bachelor types, but then you also have what was his name? The guy who is the sink. Okay, and I'm not sure yet. He's basically like, his head is an actual sink. Yeah, I think he's on the last show, instead of a human head. So there's some very random choices in here. Mm-hmm. I just think it might, like, if it had been 70 dateable objects instead of 100, that might have been an improvement. But I think that might be a me problem. Sure. I don't think it's fair to like put that on the game. I think it's more my preference is as a more linear experience and a bit more. How would I describe it? A bit more focused. A bit more focused gameplay.
Okay. So as I haven't played the game yet, demo at all. Like I haven't gotten a key, so I have to pick it up here soon. What seems to be the direction of beating the game? So you said it was like your stats, right? Is it just max out your stats and then you become the best you can be and you win? Is that what the end of the game looks like? Okay.
No. So these glasses are basically a prototype made by the company that you used to work for. Yeah. And it's the inventor of those glasses has sent them to you to test them, but then the company notices that they're missing and wants to find them. And so to make sure that you don't get caught with them, you can choose to either romance the glasses themselves,
okay,
or unlock all of the characters and realize them all.
Okay.
So you can basically choose how long your playthrough will be, I guess. Yeah. If you want to go for all 100 dateable items, you can go for it, but you don't have to.
Okay.
What I did get as a hint in the game is if you want a somewhat good ending, you have to get one of your stats up to 100.
Okay.
That was given as a hint.
Huh?
Yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Focus up. Okay. I'm definitely interested in checking it out. I definitely want to get my hands on it myself. I feel like this will be one that I'm going to enjoy the finding out who I'm listening to, or I'm going to be like, do I know this voice actor? And then pull him up. I'm like, oh, of course. It's this person that I like totally recognize as blank from whatever anime, right? Or like, there's the ones like I know who Matt Mercer is. I know who I know Troy Baker. I know Alex Lee. Like I'll see those. I'm like, cool. I know who's playing this one. I get to see them actually speak. Versus ones I'm like, oh wait, I didn't know you were like in this game yet, because the list is so long. I'm like, oh shoot, I never saw your Instagram. Like, oh, Dude McGee's in here. Let's go.
The cool thing is when you go into your encyclopedia of like all of the romanceable characters, it mentions who the voice actor is.
Love that.
So you don't have to go outside of the game to figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll still pull up behind the voice actor. I'm like, who else did you play? Who else?
Yeah.
Where do I know you from? Zenitsu. Oh my god. Like.
My favorite thing about the game, though, is the character designs. Because every character looks like the item that they are. Like the way their clothes are shaped. Sometimes even their bodies will incorporate items. For example, there's the representation of your food. He has ramen as hair.
Yeah.
But he also wears like a colorful shirt full of clothing, full of food items. Yeah. So yeah, it's if you're watching the video version, you can see how cool these designs are. I can only imagine how they managed to get to the point of finding these designs. Yeah. I'm really hoping that somewhere some of these developers just tried on stuff.
Yeah, they're like, all right, go wear a kitchen sink and let's see if we can make you into a person.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's what I would love to see, that like behind the scenes, like what that looked like, where they just like, I could see him just like, all right, we need a sink, let's take a sink apart, or like let's sit here and stare at one. We're like, all right, cool. Oh, but if we did, I could see the concept of like the chest was the sink, or like it was like a belt or something, or like this doesn't seem right. The face, we can make the just doing those. Like, how do we personify this? And I think that sounds really fun to me. So. Yeah, I'm gung-ho to get this one, like, played. I want to check this one out and just,
I get that.
You didn't give me a key, so I should prioritize ones I got a key for, guys. But, hell yeah. Date everything. Sorry I didn't, super scratch the itch with, all this stuff in there, but I'm hoping that's you were saying, it might just be isolated, it might just be a you thing, or, but.
I think it's a me thing, because there's plenty to love here. It's just, I feel a bit lost. Because the game gives you suggestions. You have this app on your phone called Rumors, where you can find hints of you have to talk to this person for this person or stuff like that. But basically you're free to talk to anybody. Oh, yeah. You have 5 time slots each day, and you choose who to talk to. And it's a bit overwhelming for me.
Got it. Nah, I think you're just crazy. You know, once you beat the game, like, you know, I get it. I figured it out. I see. You know, definitely I'll keep in mind as I'm, you know, going into play and trying to find like my pace of who I want to talk to and what order I want to talk to them and what that's, because I feel like my whole thing is just going to be walk in the door and the moment I see something blink, talk to it, and then take that path and then go back. All right, I talked to this thing. What's the next thing I blink? You? All right, cool. You know, or eventually I'll find someone where I'm like, interact with this person. I'm like, oh, but now I want to talk to that person because I talked to them for this quest, so now I want to see da.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that I thought was a bit of a shame was that sometimes the same item in different places in the house is the same character. So like there's a TV in the living room, but there's also a TV in your gym. But that's the same character.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that in time. And that way, because I didn't want to talk to that character, and then I did anyway, because it was the same character. Are you locked in
at that point? Like if I talk to the TV, it's like you've connected with television guys. I don't know how they interact. So
yeah,
there's not like a back out and quit. Like I don't want to talk to you. You have to like, oh, that kind of sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a really good game. Like I absolutely would recommend playing it to anyone who loves, like, especially because story-wise, you have characters who are immediately talking about intimacy or even more about lust. But there's characters who, like, your microwave is like a soldier on a mission. Yeah. And he's talking about, like, briefing you on your next mission. And like what? What's happening? The sink guy believes that he's actually a human instead of a sink. there's all kinds of different things going on. There's different household items who are fighting with each other, and you have to like intervene and stuff like that. So there's plenty to do, and it's just a bit much.
Okay. Bet. Cool. Any other thoughts on Date Everything?
Play it. Don't let me scare you off playing it.
I hate this game. Pretty good. Go have fun.
I don't hate it.
You're a Tofr. Hate it.
Damn.
Timestamp. The button wouldn't click. Real quick, we'll hop into the indie release. Then Tofr said you wanted to take this one, so go ahead. You can start a listing.
Sure thing. These are the releases for the week of June 19th till June 25th. We start out with a Rematch coming on June 19th for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. We have Vessels of Decay releasing on June 19th for PC. Robots at Midnight comes on June 19th for Xbox and PC. Become the Moon is one that I'm very excited about. Releases on June 19th for PC. Nova Hearts, another one I'm really excited about, also releases on June 19th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. The Diary arrives on June 20th for PC. Mushroom Musume arrives on June 20th for PC. Outrider Mako comes to us on June 23rd for PC. Ship Inc., a game that you talked about a couple of weeks ago, releases on June 23rd for PC. Shuffle Tactics releases on June 24th for PC. Quantum Witch, which I mentioned earlier, also releases on June 24th for PC. And I Am Your Beast is making its way to PlayStation and Xbox on June 25th.
Hell yeah. I didn't know I'm Your Beast got a console release. That's really cool. I'm excited to see that one. Of the list, Rematch is the one I'm most interested in because it's from Slow Clap, the guys who made Sifu, but it's a soccer game. And I want to see where those genres mesh. I know it's been in like early access or beta or whatever it was on Steam. I did not know it was coming to Game Pass. This is one I'm like, I might pick it up on PlayStation as we get closer and see. But I'm like, oh, Game Pass, cool. Then I'll probably just check it out there and see how it runs. I'm really interested in checking that one out.
If you want someone to play with you, give me a shout.
Yeah, we'll run it. Give it a shot, baby. Will be this week? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, absolutely. I definitely love to run some Rematch. I think it'd be fun. Yeah. Maybe not this Saturday. What's next Saturday? You around next Saturday? Am I around next Saturday? That's important.
I'm not around next Saturday.
I am not around next Saturday either. No, never mind.
Okay.
Not next Saturday. We'll see. I had double check my calendar. I'm like, never mind. Everything that day. Yeah. But bet. Yeah. Any of the other ones you were looking? I know you listed as you were going. Any other ones you're jonesing for?
Become the Moon is like is one that I'm really excited about because it's basically single-player Hearthstone.
Right.
Nova Hearts is the one that I mentioned last week, where you get these magical girl superpowers, but you're also dating everyone.
Yeah, maybe.
Shuffle Tactics is another one. Quantum Witch is another one. It's quite a week.
Yeah, sure looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, guys, those are the games coming out this week. You can check them out. As we get ready to round out the episode, we'll do our indie spotlight, which I skipped last week because it was just a long episode, but we're here. But this is where we usually do either our viewer favorite indie game or we spotlight an indie game that's either underrated or an upcoming one you should keep your eye on. This is one that I had noticed on Steam had mixed reviews, and I think it's in a spot just because it released in early access, probably wasn't up to snuff. It had its 1.0 release, and it's still sitting in mix. It's like 61 reviews. But the game is called Flamekeeper. And it's a very, to simplify, a Hades-esque roguelike where you play as like a little flame. You're like a little humanoid flame. And you're going around, you're fighting, you have fire powers, you have like fire punches and stuff. It's very simple in terms of like the concept, but they'll be the ones like you go in, you clear out the area, you defend this area as you fight off the enemies. They're sometimes overgrown plants, the little slime monsters. I got a key for this one either last year or 2 years ago. I can't think of how old this game is now. I was a big fan of it. I didn't put a lot of time into it, but the time I did, I really did enjoy. I know then I could see the simplicity of it, but it did hit 1.0 at some point here recently.
Exactly 1 year ago.
Oh, there you have it. A year ago. Of the early access release or
the full release.
Or
June
the 1.0? Yeah.
June 17th, 2024.
Holy shit, what anniversary? This was a sign. This is why we didn't do it last week, because I had to do the anniversary. I wanted to bring us up for the anniversary of the game, guys. Check out Flamekeeper. That's some crazy odds, dog. That's wild. Yeah. There's no universe where that should have happened. That's fucking dope. But yeah, if you like roguelikes, if you're done with your current one, if you're not playing Lost and Random, this isn't Lost and Random plug. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, if you're looking for a new roguelike, you want to check out one that's about a little fire guy. There you go. Check out your good friend Flamekeeper.
Yeah, it's only $10 as well. So
yeah, super inexpensive. And then time, Sam. With that, we're gonna wrap it on up, baby. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out and watching this episode of Playlog. I know it's a Steam Next Fest episode, so those tend to go long. Hopefully next week we're back to a normal paced episode. We'll see how it's all going. But for now, Tofr, if the little stinkly dinklies want to find the internet, where could they go?
The easiest way is through my link tree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word. Also, be sure to check out my Next Fest article on so many games.co.uk and my video for them on their YouTube channel. And also check out the Tiny Game Chronicles, where I was a guest this week.
Yeah, a lot of Tofr to go around. Let me tell you though, before we round it out, I've had a lot of struggles this last month with outlets with the name game, because there's so many games, there's too many games, there's no small games, and every time I go to say one, no small games less an issue, but like once I get in the weeds of it, I'm like, shoot, no small games. Okay, we're not them, but like too many games and so many games, because too many games is a con going on here in PA in a week or so in Philly. Okay. And I think too many games and so many games, like, which one's Tofr? So many games. Right. Okay. And it's once this con's gone, I'll be back in a spot. But then every year I'm like, so many. I can make it easy for you to remember. I would never say too many games. Smart. Good thinking. Bring on all the games. Damn it. Definitely wouldn't say too many games in this July and August. No shot. No way. No. But yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, audio service, anywhere, be sure to leave that 5-star review. It really helps the podcast grow. Be sure to start playing American Arcadia, because I'm sure we both have, right, Tofr? Nope. Yeah, same. Got to do that. But yeah, we got a little over a month. Yeah, you're good. You're chill. Yeah. You're golden. But yeah, stay tuned to the channel. A bunch of content coming your way. Stay beautiful, stay lovely, and talk to you next time. Mwah.